Hello. Sorry about that delay. I'm really sorry, guys. I've not been that late for a long time, so I apologise. I had to move it back a little bit. I was going to put it back to 8:30, but I thought I don't want to let you all down. Anyway, I'm here. I was just sorting out a few things. Had to feed the bunnies and stuff. So a big hello to everybody. Yeah, Danny Jones, Hoax Police, definitely we can chat. But tonight I want to keep it all out of here, but we will talk, definitely. Drop me an email. I'll put my email into chat, and then we'll do our hellos, and then I'll get the lovely Gemma up. So let me just get into chat a sec. Again, apologies for the lateness. Okay, we'll do our hellos. We'll get Gem up, and then we'll discuss. This is just what we're going to be doing tonight. So we're going to do our hellos, get our Gem up. Gemma will discuss, she'll tell you about her experiences, and then I'll talk about my experiences with living and getting 2 people diagnosed who I live with. And then if it's up to Gemma, but I'm happy. I'm just going to put my email address in for Danny. I'm happy to open up the panel to anybody who wants to come up. So, oh, thank you. Is it working? Was that where it was before? Okay. No, I don't either. Hang on a minute. We've bought a little light, so just let hang on a minute. Quite. And just see if you can see it. No, you can't see it, look. Hello. When Gemma comes up, I'll be going on camera. So can you put it over a little bit? We've got this little light, look, see? You can't even, you know, is it too bright? Look. No, you can't see it, look. What do I need to do to make you be able to see it? We'll sort it out. Cut my hair. I hate. Put the light on in the room, it'll work. Anyway, we'll sort it out in a minute. Right, okay, thank you. Is it different settings for it or something? It seems to be on and off. Oh, okay. Right, sorry about that. There's my email address, 72 people watching. Please hit the like or the dislike. If I get any buzzing, let me know. It means my phone's too close to the microphone. Right then, we're here. Right, thank you to the members. We had a few issues yesterday with the membership. It's all sorted now. So if you were a member and it got if you were a member and it got removed, it will be back now. So if you cancelled your membership, you need to redo it if you did take it off. So I just want to apologise for that. I'm not beautiful. And yeah, I thought, well, I used to go on camera a lot, and then when all the trolls were happening, I thought, you know what, it gives them more to talk about. So I didn't go on camera as much, but I do sometimes. For the people that say that I'm not the person in the avatar, some people on Facebook are saying that I'm not real and that I'm not that person. You've just seen who I am. Yeah, it's on, Jane. But what will happen is some people may have cancelled it, and at the end of the month, they'll lose their membership. If you didn't do anything, it'll come back automatically. Guys, I have no self-confidence whatsoever, and I struggle with compliments. I can't even say that because I feel embarrassed. But anyway, right then, we'll do our hellos. Excuse me. And then we'll get our lovely Gemma up. And there's so many things I want to talk about with Gem, and we'll get a little bit of a debate, not a nasty debate, not a mass debate, just a little debate about my avatar. I am going to change it anyway. Thank you, Ellie. Yeah. So some people who have got a membership badge, oh, Gem, I'm not, but thank you. If you have a membership badge and you cancelled it, you will still have your badge for a month and then you'll lose it. So just letting you know, you might have to reapply. Okay, so we have banned again. Terry Knowles, you're not blonde. I am blonde. You know what, right? It looks darker because I'm indoor, and winter makes it dark, but it will get blonder when I go out in the sun. It's dark blonde. Angel, hello, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being a member. Again, thank you to everyone who stuck with me. I appreciate you. Lovely Jubbly in the house. Symphy Cliff, I love you to bits, mate. Thank you for being here. Ellie, hello, darling. Now, these things happen, sweetheart, but I really appreciate you for sticking with me. I really do. There's our beautiful Gem. I'll put the link in a moment for our Gem. Oh, hang on. I don't want to miss anybody. Fast and Bulbous, I love your name. Gosh, that's a big long message. So I'm very autistic. Sorry, I'm gonna do my hellos and then I'll start reading comments. Otherwise, I'm going to miss people. But I know you're all talking to each other and stuff, which is fine. Carlos, the pure blood in the house. Oi, oi, how you doing? The beautiful Jane, regular co-host, very good friend. I love her to bits. Ghost. I love this man. He's got a really hot voice. We love Ghost. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, trolls. God Struggler in the house. Hello. Oh, thank you, Angel. Thank you. I really so sweet. Susie, hello, sweetheart. Did you get a message from me on Facebook? Because if not, I've messaged the wrong person. I'm like, hi, Tony G in the house. Another me old muckers from the old UNN days. Great guy. Lovely to see you. Mickey the monkey. Hello, mate. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. We've got the beautiful Nikki Adams. Hello, sweetheart. Lovely lady. She's been up on panel. We've got Mandy Cox. Hello, Mandy. Welcome to the live stream. Lovely to have you here. The beautiful Ellen, the lady with the gorgeous blue eyes. This lady has the hottest eyes. Absolute stunner. Apparently, if I tell people that they're hot, it means that I fancy them. So there you go, Ellen, love. Spacey Rach in the house. Good to see you, sweetheart. I've just seen our Steve. He's gone past. Emma, hello, darling. I missed Steve's name, but it flicked past. But Steve is here. Big up Steve with the England flags. Oh, Penny. If I send you an email, can you pass? Yeah, of course I can. If you even want me to, if with your permission, I can give you Mickey's, or I can, send your emails to each other. Mara is here. Hello, sweetheart. Lovely to see you, and thank you for your support. Scottish Davros and Pop Culture, another great friend, awesome guy. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you and Gemma are in touch. I think it's lovely. Cynthia Cliff, I've said hello. Sean, hello, Sean Westerby. Good to see you, my friend, as always. Thank you for your kind comments. Jay Deal, hello, darling. I hadn't seen you for a while, so I'm glad you've come back. I hope everything's okay. And I know some people go quiet because they have things going on in real life. So I hope everything's okay with you, darling. Steph, Thundershots in the house. Everyone's doing. We're good to see you, my friend, as always. Thank you for being here, the beautiful Gem. Jeanette, hello, darling. Good to see you, sweetheart. Another lovely lady who leaves lovely comments. Really, really. Some of you guys, honestly, you blow me away with some of the things you say in the comments about this Nicola Bulley case. You're so bloody spot on, and some of the things I miss and others miss. So another lady who has some really good ideas. Robert, hello, welcome. How are you doing, my friend? Are you new? Millie, the lady who bought Snoopy's bed. Don't worry, guys, we are going to get through the hellos. If you're watching on the replay, you may want to fast forward a few minutes while we do our hellos. It's how we do it on this channel, and I'm never going to change. Millie bought Snoopy's crash mat bed that's in the short that's just come on today. Terry Knowles band again. Susie, what? I don't think so. I'm sure it was you. Check your spam folder, sweetheart. Honestly, yes, I think it is you. I really do. I like to haunt every now and again. He's a naughty. He's very naughty. Belinda, hello, darling. Mouse Nation. Love this lady. Are we still going to meet up? And get Paz on the case. St. George's flag emoji. I'm going to be on the case. He's Welsh. Probably isn't that bothered, is he? He classes himself as British. That's on my to-do list, Alan. You've reminded me. Jim Womble, hello. Good evening. Hello. How you doing? Yeah, R.I.P. Nicola. I've been asked to make a couple of videos, so I will be. I'm not going to be doing a Nicola Bulley live streams until the inquest. I've said this all along. Well, I've said this for the last 6-7 weeks, maybe longer. I am going to be. It's all right, hon. It might. I'll just check your spam. So I'll be putting videos out on the Nicola Bulley when you guys send me emails in. I'll be putting videos out. But the live streams, as soon as the inquest is out, we will do the live stream. And I am going to be visiting St. Michael's. I want to have a little walk along the river. It looks lovely. And I also want to go and pay my respects and lay some flowers. So I will be visiting there as well because we want to take Jack to Blackpool, so we'll drive through. Hello, Louise. I've just caught you. Hello, Bertie the Budgie. I love your, oh my God, I love your name. Do you have a channel? I love budgies. There you go. Hi, Louise. Right, Alyssa, thank you so much for sticking with me. I appreciate you for being a member. I really do. Thank you. Melissa Surridge, hello, darling. Bridget Blaine, love this lady, a long-time friend, amazing person. Works really hard catching the wrong uns. Catherine, another really switched on, clued up lady. Thank you for being here, darling. I appreciate your support. Transporter, me too, darling, me too. Marty McFly, hello. Good to see you. Leanne Marie, hello, darling. Thank you again for being a member. I appreciate you. I think we do. Oh, Martin, everyone thought that Martin was Paul Ansell. Martin is not Paul Ansell, and he went on camera, bless him, to prove it. Right, I think we've done our... No, we haven't. There's somebody else come in. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Vicky. I'm great. Thank you, darling. Right, okay. Alan Edge, my online husband. YouTube husband. Dead budgie for sale, not going cheap. I love budgies. I love them. Elle won't let me have one. Belinda, I'm off to Mallorca. Oh, Majorca at the end of May. Well, lucky you, darling. Lucky you. Yeah, I think the live streams we should wait. I've always said if anything new, well, thank you, Alyssa, darling. If anything new comes out, like we had the people in the policemen in the river, if anything new comes out, or if anyone's sending any information and I think, right, okay, that's worth a video, I will be putting videos out. Maybe not about Nicola Bulley as such, but maybe around that area. Like we did the Alawalia. Okay, I know I can't say it right, but I don't care anymore. Hello, Sharon, sweetheart. Well, thank you, darling. Claire in the house. So yeah, I've had a couple of requests to do some videos on the Nicola Bulley case or that area. So I will be doing that. Has this Bertie the Budgie got a channel? Yeah, let's hope she gets justice somehow, but we can only but pray. Right then, so there we go. Now, we've took me 13 minutes to do my hellos. I apologise for the people that are watching on the replay. I still get complaints. She talks too much. Oh, Bertie the Budgie's got a wrench, so it's somebody we already know. Oh, it's Herman the Tosser. Oh, I love your name. I sent you yeah, guys, I've still got quite a lot to get through on the emails. So I just want to say a massive thank you. I am going to be putting some more content out around that case, but I'm not going to be doing any live streams. Unless it comes up, if the topic comes up on an open panel, but you know, and I would like any locals like Martin to maybe come back. Right then, so tonight's live stream is all about autism. I know there's some debates about the avatar, the thumbnail. Now I was going to change it anyway because I just did that for quickness, but I do still stand by the jigsaw, and again I'm going to probably be told off, but let's remember we're all friends. Thank you, Shirley. I'm doing great. Thank you, darling. We're all friends. I needed that night off last night, and we can all have discussions and we can all have disagreements, but we're all friends and we're not going to fall out over this, I hope. And I would love to hear your views on this. So if you've got, hello, Pink Roses, if you have autism or if you have a family member or a friend and you want to come up tonight, I'm happy for that to happen. But this StreamYard link is just for Gemma at the moment. And then if Gemma feels comfortable, then Gemma, it's up to Gemma if she wants to open up the panel. Yeah, feel the love. Hello, Gem. Right, let me just pop the light on and see if the light works in the background. Gem, I'm going to go on camera just for you, darling. I know you'll be on camera. I'm back.
Hello. I didn't say to you not to worry about it. I understand why you don't like going on camera. It's fine.
I used to go on camera all the time, and then I thought, you know what? There's too many weirdos about. But then I don't really care anymore, sweetheart. They can do what they want. Hello, Keaton. Is Keaton one of yours? Are you 18 yet? Do try and keep it, 18s plus. But how close are you to 18? Desi Willoughby. Hello. I've bought this little light, Gem. Let me show you my light. Hang on a minute. Let me see if you can see. It might not work. Oh shit! What have I just pressed? Oh no, you can't see it. What am I doing wrong? Is it the angle or something?
I don't know.
We'll sort it, Gem. I don't know. Hello, dig down deep. Look at the state of me. My hair. Got him straight in my hair. Me autism butterfly's healing nicely now, Gem.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, how is it?
So there we go, everybody. I don't want to go on big camera, but I've had the butterfly.
Camera Penny is fine.
Autism. I'm trying to. I don't know if you can see it, but so I've had.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Yeah. I've had the autism butterfly as well as some other butterflies added to go as part of my Mother's Day present from Al. Al paid for that, and then he bought these. So there you go. How do you get a picture? What's Penny? What colour nails? My nails, they were purple, but they're coming off now. So hello, Melissa, darling. How you doing? Sorry, not Melissa. Is it Little Miss Sunshine? Sorry. Hello, Derek. Hello, how you doing? Gem. First of all, how are you, darling?
I'm good. I've been out for a walk today, and then I obviously did my my dinner video, which, oh my god, that stressed me out. But I did it. I was like,
which one? Sorry, the one the dinner one. That was move over, Nigella. Honestly.
I spilled water down myself. I was like, I had to go and get my hair dry and blitz my dress afterwards. I was like soaked. I was like, oh,
Gem. Isn't she?
Honestly, I thought I'd wear my new dress for you today. I thought I'd dress up, so I put my new dress on.
Very, very posh. Very posh, Gem. I can't pull a dress off. No way. Gemma can. Spacey Rachel Bunny is there by the name, if you remember. I think they mean an I think they mean an avatar.
Yeah, I think so.
In your chat. Oh, sorry. You've got to be a member, I think. Isn't that right, Gem?
Yeah, to have the little avatar picture next to your name, you have to be a member of someone's channel. So if you want to be a member of Penny's channel, you go onto her. If you go onto the little dollar sign down the bottom of the chat, and it should say membership, you click that, and then you click the level you want to get, and then it comes up with the avatar picture next to your name once you've clicked it.
Yeah, you can join the membership, and it all goes to the animals. So what I'm going to do, I've just done a big order when I got in, because they finally gave me February's membership money. I have asked him, and I've done a big order that came in today. So I'm going to put some some photos on the membership tab for you guys, just so you can see where it goes, because that's what I do. Right then, I can ask Al, but I don't think he will. I think after what happened the other day, he already doesn't like people very much, as you know. Hello, Dr. David Bull. Gemma joined the Dots dress. Dot. I love
polka dots is one of my favourites.
Yeah, I used to love wearing dots when I was younger. Gemma, do you have members on your channel? Gemma does, don't you, Gem?
Yes,
I just can't afford to do it.
I'm currently at 5 members I've got on my channel right now.
Well, as soon as I can afford to, I would love to join Gemma's channel, because I think Gemma deserves everything, and she works so hard. I'd love to be able to. Yeah, I totally Spacey Rach. Honestly, sweetheart, it's there if people want to join, and you don't have to join. And say the way I give back to members is I put like updates on the animals and stuff like that. Hello, Miss L. Oh, well, thank you. She's lovely. I was on stream a few weeks ago on camera, but there you go. I am a real person. So Gem, I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the jigsaw? Because I know it's going to cause some debate, and that's fine. I understand
the jigsaw isn't really a big problem for me. I think the only reason that person kicked off was because
what they said was bad.
They feel that autism with the jigsaw, it's been very controversial. Back in the day, it was seen as you have to be fixed, and the jigsaw puzzle by the National Autistic Society here in the UK used it as their main avatar for a time, and then they got confronted, and then they changed it. They replaced it with a crying face of a child, which then they got backlash again, because people are, oh, now you're saying that we're sad, broken people, and then now they've changed it to the Q ? Avatar that they've got. But the jigsaw to me just means it's about inclusivity. It's about joining up people together, understanding. And personally, I wear jigsaw jewelry. I've got a jigsaw on my Pandora bracelet for autism. So to me, it's not a problem.
Oh,
I don't see
can you
the
get
issue with
them? I
it.
didn't know. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can get
that's
them.
on my list. That's on my birthday list then. Troll detector in the house. Big up troll detector. Hello, Mark. I'm not a redhead. It's just the lighting. I'm not a redhead. I've got dark blonde hair, but it will go lighter in the summer. You just can't really see it because it's quite dark in here. But it is dark blonde. Gemma's got brown hair. Gem, did you see that shampoo I was going to get you?
Yes, I did. I've just ordered it. Yeah.
I was going to order it for you, darling.
That's okay. I got it. It should be
Aww.
here in the next couple of days, so I should be
Wear
able to.
gloves. Wear gloves.
Okay, will do.
Tracy Davenport. Very nice.
Mara's just asked about the jigsaw. Mara, it's
Yeah.
seen as controversial because a lot of people in the autistic community see it as, oh, you're trying to say we're broken, that we need to be fixed, put together. It's seen as a way to offend people, but for me personally, it's not an offensive thing. It's something that means it's about being identified. It's about being part of a community, and the jigsaw puzzle, it needs to stop being used as a weapon to divide people, because at the moment it's being used saying, oh, well, if you like the jigsaw puzzle, you believe in being fixed, do you think I'm broken? No, it's each personal identity. Like I like using the jigsaw. Like I've got jigsaw jewelry. I've got a jigsaw on my YouTube page. I think it's no problem. I don't have an issue with it.
Well, I say I'm that confident in it, and I might be wrong, that I've had it tattooed on because I wanted to do something for, obviously, my husband's got autism. Hello, Chile. My husband's got autism. My son has just been recently diagnosed. Hello, K&D Simmons. Gemma, my lovely friend Gemma, and Free Speech and others. And I want to show solidarity to them, and I will support anyone who does have autism or who is neurodiverse. And we're actually called, what are we called? NT is neurotypical, is
Yeah.
what I would be called, and Gemma would be called neurodiverse. So it's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's just we're all different. We're all different people, and it's about understanding how autism, how the brain works. It works different. It doesn't work wrong. It just works different. I just wanted to say as well, and again, some people may disagree, but hopefully we can all be friends. And I don't know how Gemma feels, but they tried to get rid of the jigsaw. It was a very woke thing, wasn't it, Gem? I don't know whether you looked into it, but what they've done, I'm going to get something up on the internet. Hold on. You're going to see my searching. I hate looking my Google searching face when I'm on camera. But basically, the way that they did it was the woke left. Okay. As we know, they try and take over everything, and they will take over a minority group, and they will weaponize it and politicize it. And what they did was they said that they didn't like the jigsaw because it meant that you're broken. It doesn't, the way I see the jigsaw is, it doesn't mean that you're broken. What it means is, it means that your brain is made up differently. And all the little pieces, they all come together. That's how I see it personally. It's all the different colors and all the little colors going together and make that person. Yeah, don't keep spamming. It's just going to clog up the chat. I don't understand why you're doing that, but hello to the person who's doing that. So in my mind, it's how you're made up of all these different. You're different.
Yeah.
And you all come together as one. You're all whole. I don't like the missing jigsaw piece. I don't like that, but the whole jigsaw piece to me is a positive thing, not a negative thing. But
absolutely.
But what they've done, Gem, I've just turned my camera off a minute while I'm doing this. I don't know.
No worries.
If how much of you are aware, but what they've tried to do with the left of incorporated pride into this, and they've tried they've literally incorporated pride into autism, and they have weaponized it. So Gemma obviously knows what I'm on about, and I was quite
Yep.
shocked when I seen this, folks.
Hey,
I'm not
Solly.
gonna lie.
How you
Carry
doing,
on.
Solly? Just one of my good friends just come into the chat. Hey, Solly, how you going?
Hello, Sally. Let's have where are you? Let's get your name up. Sorry. Oh, Sully. Hello, Matt. Is this one here? Matty
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah.
Hello, welcome. James
From the,
Jameson. Hello.
he's from the true crime community. From my friend Duty on this channel, they're a true crime community who I go
well,
into.
thank you. So I'm just going to try and find that there's a thing somewhere that shows you why they hate it. And what they've tried to do, they've used the infinity symbol and they've used pride. Now, the new autism symbol, let me just get this up so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay, just a quick welcome again. Please hit the like or the dislike. If you don't like us, we won't be offended. I am a real person, as you can see. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the new one. Now, they've incorporated the pride colours into the new logo, and they are pushing autism pride. So they have literally that. It's weaponizing again. I was quite shocked.
I don't agree with the logo at all. I don't like it.
I don't agree with it at all. And what they're trying to do is say that the puzzle piece is wrong, and that look, autism rights movement. Now it's the woke left have taken on the autism and they've turned it into pride. So they're now trying to weaponize people who are LGBT, because this LGBT I think is two different things, and I'm not going to use that anymore. LGBT, the lesbian, gay and bi community, I think is a different community to transgender. I think that it's wrong to put it all together. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people feel the same. So, but they're using that to incorporate this. Now they're trying to weaponize it and they're trying to make division. So, you know, they've put this propaganda out that the puzzle piece is negative, that the puzzle piece is wrong, and that we should all be doing this infinity. Now, a lot of people, Christians, for example, this is basically infinity can actually be quite derogatory towards Christians. It's an attack on Christianity as usual, because this is quite this talks about like Buddhism and how everything's infinite. Now, if you're a Christian, you don't believe in that. You believe you go to heaven. So there's what they're doing is they're getting in these little subtle things that are against God. Now, whether you believe in God or not, if you don't look into it, you wouldn't realize what I'm saying. But when you think about this now, they get the pride colours in, and it's all very. Now they've weaponized the jigsaw puzzle now. So the jigsaw puzzle's seen as wrong, and I don't agree with that. I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, they're my thoughts. And
the thing is with the Christian community, like for me, I've been so mistreated by the Christian community. As you know, Penny, I got thrown out of my church I got thrown out of my church for being autistic. When I told my pastor that I was having the assessment, I got trolled bad on my Facebook. I had to delete a lot of people. Then they start coming to my YouTube channel, leave me messages saying that I was going to burn in hell or possessed. And it was awful. And still to this day, I've got no apology. And the church needs to do a lot better. The Christian community is not as accepting as they make out. It's horrible.
I think that's more the church, in my opinion, Gem. It's the thing is, you can be a Christian without going to church.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that a lot of these, just from where I see it, is a lot of these churches, they've become like a cult, and they're all very negative and very hypocritical. But genuine Christians who, if you follow the 10 Commandments, you can't go far wrong in life, basically, if you follow the 10 Commandments, can you? because it just means do no harm. What they've done to you does sound. Was that a Church of England, or was that like a
It was
what
a
do you call it?
Pentecostal church.
Pentecostal, yeah. So they're a little bit more hard line than the Church of England. Excuse me. Hello, Trump Master. How you doing? It's awful how Gemma's been treated. It's you had to get the police, didn't you, darling? They come to your house, didn't they?
Yeah. I had the Jehovah's Witnesses. So last year, back in the summer, I had my nephew here one time when it happened, and my nephew said, Gemma, there's someone knocking at your door. And I was like, I ignore it, it's making me salespeople, I don't want to know. So I ignored it. I recorded it on my phone. Over an hour, they stood at my door, shouting things, putting things through my door. They were telling me to open the door. If I didn't, I was being disrespectful. So I went to the door, answered it, and I got hurled with abuse. And they had a 8-year-old little girl mouthing off at me, saying that I was a demon, I was possessed, that I should repent my disability. They knew about my social media accounts. They knew that I was active locally, talking about stuff. And the guy who was with them basically said to me that I should be ashamed of being on the autism spectrum because it doesn't come from God. That if I was a real believer in God, that I would be ashamed of being disabled. And I was like, no. And then he put his foot through my door, and I had to get the police to physically remove them because they wouldn't leave. So the police had to come and physically remove all of them.
You know how it got to this. I don't know how you feel, but I find that people with autism are very easily manipulated. And did they manipulate you to get to that point? Is what I'm trying to say. Is to get to that.
Yes, in a way. Yeah, they sent me. The first thing they did was they sent me a letter saying that they were planning to visit the area, that they were knocking on doors because it was just after the C word. C word had finished.
Targeted, yeah.
And basically they came around in big groups. There was 2 big groups of them, and I spotted them walking around because my block of flats is like a communal block, so you can come in and out by the side door. And they came in and started putting things through my door. So I thought, okay, I'll just put them in the bin out, I'm not interested. And then it got to every weekend they start knocking on my door, put more stuff through my door. I was like, okay, this is now harassment. So I start collecting all the leaflets or the little Bible scriptures they put through my door, and they posted the Bible through my door. And I'm like, okay. I called the police. I told them what was happening. The police ended up coming around 3 times and said that it was free speech. There was nothing they could do. And then the final time is when the guy threatened to smash my door down, that I got police out, and they physically got hold of the people and told them to leave. And now I have a stick on my door that says anyone from a religious background, political background, anyone with a sales background has to not knock on my door. If they do, it's a criminal offence and the police will be called. So that's on my front door now, so people know not to bang my door because of the distress that happened. It made me so upset and anxious. I actually ended up having a panic attack, and I ended up having the police here for 3 hours calm me down because I couldn't breathe. It was horrendous.
Hello, Bailey Boo. I don't think I said hello to you. Sorry, I don't think I missed your name when you came in. Sorry. Angel says here that's happened to her. That's awful. It's just horrendous. It's like they targeted you. That's what I was saying. So for that to get to that stage, I'm guessing that they sort of manipulated you to, giving you leaflets and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
they were very pushy. They told me that I had to listen. It was political and religious freedom. They told me if I didn't, that I was being disrespectful to their religion. They told me that they would keep coming back till I answered the door. They told me I had no choice. And it got to a point where the police were like, okay, she's disabled. She said no. She's asked you to leave. You haven't. She's asked you to leave again. You haven't. You've come back. You've threatened her. I ended up having 4 letters with 8 pages of A4 handwritten that they basically told me I was burning in hell. My parents should be ashamed of me. They wrote scriptures to the point where they said that when I die, I'll go to hell because God doesn't accept disability. And it got quite threatening. And towards the end, the police kept everything.
Thank you, Bailey. So that's Pentecostal. And again, and we're not saying that all people with the Pentecostal version of Christianity are like that. It's that particular church that have done that. It's awful. And I have found that the Church of England, I'm not saying they're perfect because they're not, nobody's perfect, but they are more, they've become quite woke now, and they have become more accepting. I will say that. Hello, Blue Ivy. Love this lady. Gemma, how do you feel, before we continue, about other people that might want to come up who are maybe on the spectrum, maybe they're not yet diagnosed, but they're going through it, or maybe they are diagnosed, and they want to give their thoughts? Gem, I don't know how you feel about that. Hello, Trisha.
Yeah, I think it'll be good because, you know, it's diverse. It's letting people have their expression. I think it's nice to hear different stories because I'm different compared to someone else. So, you know, it's...
Yeah, everyone's different. Yeah. So we're going to open it up, but I'm just going to say, if you, even if you are NT, neurotypical, and you've got family members who are on the spectrum, or you've got any questions for Gem or me, hello, Axel Steele. Yeah, everyone's got guns, definitely. I agree. And people wouldn't do that. People turn up at your house wouldn't do that if you had a gun, would they, Gem?
No.
So, just wouldn't do it. Hello, Be Happy. So if anybody, like, for example, Angel, you said that what happened to one of your family members. You know, if you want to come up and discuss it and give your views, everyone's welcome. No trolls or no idiots. If you're going to come up and just chat crap, if you're under the influence, if you're drunk, regardless of whether you're on the spectrum or not, I don't want anyone coming up who's under the influence, because you're going to make a prat of yourself as well as make a prat on the channel. You're going to make a prat of yourself. So I'm doing it to help you, really. We've had people come up drunk and whatnot in the past. So I kind of do a rule now. Over 18s. Hello, Bailey. Was that you? Was that you as two, Bailey? Was that you under two accounts? So there you go. Blue Ivy's a lovely lady. So anybody that wants to come up, you can. Give me 10 minutes. I'm in the bath. Angel, we're very diverse. You can come up in the bath. I'm joking. So anyway, so Angel's going to come up and give her view. I do think, though, I better go then. I do think that the church as a whole isn't like that, Gem. No, I meant, is that your account as well, Bailey? That is two Baileys.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I've been to other churches where I've had really good times. I've gone to other meetings, but the church that I went to specifically was not accepting once I admitted that I was autistic. When I said to my pastor that I was going to need more support, and I explained to him why, because of my anxiety, and he basically started preaching at me, telling me that I should pray about my autism, that I shouldn't recognise it. And I was like, oh, hold on a minute, what? And then I got voted out because I felt ill after that, because I hurt myself, and then I didn't go for one. And he said, oh, why are you not coming? Is it because of your autism? I said, well, partly that. In fact, I've been ill, and I ended up going to hospital. And then when I went to hospital, they said, oh, well, I guess you've given in to the enemy. I was like, no, I haven't given in to the enemy. I'm sick. I'm not very well. And then they targeted my mum. And my mum ended up having the pastor come to her house, and they intimidated my mum so much to the point where they told my mum, oh, you must be ashamed to have a disabled daughter. My mum was like, why would I be ashamed of my daughter? What the hell are you on about? And then my mum said, my daughter's not coming back. If you continue to harass her, we'll get police out if we have to again. So then they finally stopped contacting me last year.
I think, excuse me, they sound mentally ill. they sound nothing like a Christian. They just sound mentally ill. I think that's just disgusting, Gem. I really do. And they sound like complete brainwashers, complete and utter brainwashers. Miss L's got herself a nice cup of tea. I've just messaged out, AI, if you're listening, can I have a cup of, please? I fancy a cup of tea. You made me jealous as well. So Angel's going to come up. Anybody else want to come up? The link is there. If you want to pop up, you can. It's totally up to you. If you want to ask any questions while we're waiting, Gem, could you tell us, how old were you when you got diagnosed?
Yeah, so I was 25 years old when I got diagnosed back in 2014, which seems a long time ago now. But that was a journey in itself, because I originally had gone to the doctors because I was feeling a bit unwell. I thought I had a bit of depression or something, and I got diagnosed with anxiety disorder after 6 months of going for a counselling appointment. And then the counsellor said to me, there's something not quite right still with you, Gemma, and we're not sure what it is, but I think you might be on the spectrum. That's the first word that I'd ever heard about it. So I was like, spectrum, what you on about? And then he was like, have you heard of the autism spectrum? I was like, well, yeah, but I was very ignorant at the time. I was very not knowledgeable on it. I was like, oh, they're the people that headbang and they curse and, you know, they're rude. And he was like, no, Gemma, you're being really nasty. I was like, but that's what I kind of seen on media. He thought, well, yeah, Gemma, that's what people think it is. He said, but I can tell you from my autistic family members, it's completely different than that. There's what he called the levels. So I was like, levels of what? He goes, well, one side you've got people who are high functioning, is what I am, and then you've got people who are severe on the other end. I'm like, okay. And he was like, I think you're on the high functioning end because you're very independent, you're able to be verbal, you know, you dress well and everything else. I'm like, okay. And it took from middle 2012 till beginning of 2014, so 2.5 years from start to finish to get diagnosed. And it's the most awful 2.5 years of my life, considering I moved house 3 times in that time and lost 2 of my aunties and my grandma in that period as well. So
it's a long road, isn't it? Getting diagnosed, it's a really long road. Al, that's not that much different to Al. Al was, I think he started it in 2015. When I met him, I said to him, I says, you know, after living with him for like 6 months, I said, I think you might be Asperger, because at the time I didn't realise they'd swapped them.
Yeah.
So the Asperger is no longer an individual diagnosis, but it was just sort of going through that. And he then spoke to his GP and he says, do you think I could, because he's so intelligent, honestly, he's so intelligent, but socially, if we were going out to a meal or we were out with friends, he would often say things quite blunt that people would be offended. And I would sometimes think, I'd cringe and think, God, why has he just been so rude? And like, and we'd come home and I'd be like, you do realise you just isn't really rude? He goes, have I? And that's when I started to say, well, maybe I thought he's not a nasty person, so obviously it's not his fault. And that's when I started looking into it. I says, maybe you're on the spectrum, or maybe you've got Asperger. And he said, do you reckon? I says, I don't know, ask the doctor, because you're not a nasty person. But he said a few things that were quite, take care, Spacey Rach, sweetheart. He would say a few things that would be hurtful. So little things. When I first met him, I told him that my stepdad had passed away. And I said, I'm so gutted that you never got to meet him. And he went, oh, well, Sullivan. And it was like, whoa. And I was like, that's a horrible thing to say. But he didn't, it really hurt me. And
of course.
I was taken aback. So when he, excuse me, when this was happening a couple of times, I said, well, we need to, you know, ask. The doctor initially said, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine. I know autistic people and Asperger people, and you're nothing wrong.
That happened to me too. The doctors who I saw, I had one lady at the very beginning. She was a complete job's worth, complete narcissistic, stuck-up, rude woman, and she basically looked up and down at me. I went to the doctors with my dad and my aunt. My aunt was a former mental health nurse, so I took her with me, and she up and down, and she crossed her arms at me like this, leant against the table. She's like, I've got 2 things to say to you. I was like, what's that? She goes, you're not autistic. You're depressed and you've got low self-esteem. You need to deal with it. And then she said, 3, I'm going to give you tablets. You're depressed. You're mentally depressed. There's nothing else you need to worry about. I'm like, why? And then they tried to shove me on 50 milligrams a day of depression medication. Wow. And my mum's like, no, my daughter doesn't need the depression medication. She's not depressed. And then she tried to claim I was suicidal. She's like, well, Gemma's acting suicidal. My mum's like, my daughter's never acted suicidal. What are you on about? And then they basically said, oh, well, Gemma's too functioning to be autistic because she communicates. My mum's like, yeah, but do you realize how often difficult it is for Gemma? Like, even to get her here in the doctors, it took me 6 months because she wouldn't cooperate with me to come here. My anxiety was so high, I was literally against everybody. I was like, you can go get lost, you can get lost, you can get lost. I don't want to do it. And my mum literally had to bribe me in with some money. She's like, if I give you this money, will you come with me? And it took me about 2-3 weeks. I was like, well, if you give me the money now, then I'll go and treat myself to something. And she's like, okay. And that's the reason why I went, because I was bribed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
That's just that sounds what happened with Al. He was like, he was around 2014 and 2013, and he was told he didn't. And then when we had Jack, and he used to get quite overwhelmed, and he would have like a bit of he shut down, and that's when we started revisiting it, and we spoke to a new GP who said, right, fill this form out. I don't know, I'm guessing you did the form, and then you fill it out, and then he hit all the points. He's here now. Do you remember? We're just discussing. Gemma's here.
Hey,
People asking if you'd like to say anything, and I know you don't want to, but do you remember your diagnosis process? We're just talking about diagnosis. It was awful, wasn't it? Yeah. At first, and then you're seeing that nice. A lot of it is if you can get a nice GP, isn't it, Gem?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the more you have someone who's nice and understands you. Luckily, when it came to like the third time of being diagnosed, I got a really nice male doctor who understood autism, so he was pretty much able to do the referral for me. But it took 3 attempts to actually get a doctor who actually understood what I was suffering from, and the doctor was actually really helpful because he referred me straight for what he called an emergency mental health referral. And it took 6 months from there to get an appointment. So,
thanks. So yeah, hello, Angel. So you understand it then? You totally understand the situation. Hello, Angel, sweetheart. Are you okay?
Hiya. Nice to meet you both. Yeah, I'm good. Well, this autism, it's not. Hiya, Gemma. This autism, it's all new to me. See, my grandson is 6 now, but at 2 years old, he started to regress. He stopped talking, and he stopped doing things and playing with things. And my daughter was like, "Do you think he's autistic?" And I always knew, but he didn't get a diagnosis till he was like 4.
Really
he's in a special school now. Sorry?
That's actually really good because
yeah, no.
They don't usually get diagnosed too much later. Jack was 8. He would have been 6 if there wouldn't have been the play thing that we can't talk about.
But then my my granddaughter, she's waiting for a diagnosis now, with same paediatrician. So really, they're really quick on like spotting it now. But then because it's like new to me, I've started to realise that maybe I'm a bit autistic on spectrum, and my daughter and girls mask it better than boys. We seem to want to fit in. We want to have friends. But I find I'm a bit of a loner. I'm artistic. I don't like being around crowds. I got told I had anxiety, mental illness, but like everything Gemma's saying, these doctors years ago, they just didn't know about this autism and the spectrum. And I mean,
it's difficult, especially as an adult, getting diagnosed as an adult now. There's no actual funding for a diagnosis if you're an adult. There is if you're a child. And the way that the government brought out a new law about 10, 12 years ago that stated that every adult is entitled to a diagnosis of autism by law, but there's no funding for it. So it's all done on an individual basis. So if you're if your GP believes that you're on the spectrum, you've then got to fight for funding for that. So it took 2 years for Al's GP to fight to get the funding for his diagnosis, and it had to go off to panels and all this sort of stuff. And that's how it ended up. He had to go to private, but the NHS paid. And then what happened was they funded the actual diagnosis. But then at the end of that, the psychologist and the psychiatrist both said that because of your age and everything else, you will need at least 20 sessions. It's on his diagnosis paperwork. You will need at least 20 sessions of therapy. But then the government said, well, we're not paying for that. We've done our bit. We've paid for the diagnosis. Get on with it. And the GP has been fighting for the past 6 years to get this therapy, and it's never going to happen. Take care, Jane, darling. Jane.
Take care, Jane.
Bye, sweetheart. Lots of love in the night. Hello, Dazza. So he got left. He got hit in with this big, like, this is the reason why you've struggled your whole life. This is the reason why you struggle with friendships, and why you've been blunt, and why you've been shunned at workplaces, and why you feel the way you do. And we can now help you, but we need $2,000 or whatever. It was more than that. So
yeah, I sometimes wish my mouth had a delete key.
Yeah. So you
I've
would
come out this stuff. Yeah, and it's really inappropriate, and I don't see it as inappropriate. I'm just honest. It's the way I see it.
She broke the screen. Oh no, sorry. She's dropped her iPad and broke the screen. I'm so sorry. Sorry,
Oh,
didn't mean
Samantha, that's sad.
Would you like some biscuit? No, thank you, darling. Okay.
got insurance on it, darling. So totally understand it, and that to get that bombshell at like 40, 41 was a big shock. Yeah, Jane's not going anywhere. It was Jay that's going. But her name's Jane. But I just want to add as well. Now we've got to be really careful how we talk about this, ladies. But I truly believe that it was the vaccines that they have that children are given. So I believe it was the flu spray, because Jack had his MMR and he caused a lot of digestion problems. But when he was 2, they did the flu spray. Now in America, you guys don't do the flu spray, apparently. We're the only country that do it. And they spray up the nose. So it goes into the mucous membrane, and it contains mercury and lots of other things. These are all facts. You can look at them. And he had the spray when he was 2. And within 2 days, his speech regressed. This is Jack, my little boy's 8 now. His speech, his coordination, he was walking into things. And since he was 2, he started to digress, like go back. And he then got put under speech therapist at 4, and he's still under speech therapist now. And he still can't say some letters. He become really clumsy, and he started to have major tantrums. And we were told, oh, it's just a normal 3-year-old. Oh, it's just a normal 4-year-old. Oh, it's just a normal 5-year-old. I said, well, where does you end between a tantrum and swinging yourself off the doctor's chair when you try and see a doctor, and swinging off the doors and running around, just running in circles for hours and hours on end? I said, this is not normal. And we were just told there's nothing wrong with it. And it wasn't until the speech therapist got involved and says, right, we can get in this way, because if he's got speech problems, it's a key now. Anyone that doesn't know this, if you've got any children that you do believe could be on the spectrum, if they're under speech therapy, it's a key in. It's a doorway, because they can go direct to the autism team, because they're all in the same group, and put them in for diagnosis. And that is how Jack got referred. But then they lost his diagnosis referral twice, in 2018 and again in 2019. It's took years to get here, hasn't it, Gem? You know, Gem, I've been telling you. Yeah. And when I finally got it, in the end, he was sat in the waiting list for 3 years, and they contacted me at the end of last year and said, the NHS in this area is so overwhelmed. We're bringing in a private company now to help us. Hello, Bev, would you be prepared to use this private company and we'll fund it? Or do you want to wait for the NHS doctor? And I don't care how you do it. And they referred us to this company, and they were brilliant. And then we got his diagnosis in January this year. And the support since then has been completely amazing. I don't know if you found that, Angel, but he now has social workers, he has care workers, as well as his speech therapist. They're now referring him to occupational therapy. So
I think it comes down to the area that you live in. it's like a postcode lottery.
Yeah. So once the
services.
diagnosis improved for you,
Well, my son in the northeast of England has never had a diagnosis, never got any support, and he's got Clove syndrome, where he's got physical disabilities. He's got large hands, he's got neuritis, he's partially blind, and I've noticed growing up he makes noises. He doesn't know he's doing them. He used to speak American as a child and say like diapers and his American accent, which I've noticed my granddaughter does that. And my grandson is he's come on loads since he started. I think it is early learning school. They didn't stimulate him enough. He says he's 6. He says alphabet backwards. And other day we were talking in French, but I don't know how he's learned French. No one's learning French. And he's very intelligent, but he can't even ask you for a biscuit or a drink or tell you what's wrong with him.
Yeah, the communication.
Yeah, and it's. But then things like the dentists and the doctors, and you think they'd have something in place to help with autism. He got a watermelon seed in his eye, and he had it in his eye for near on a year, and he won't let anyone touch him, and and it's finally come out. It's worked its way out, but oh my God, there must have been about 8 nurses trying to get it out. My daughter got headbutted by him, and it's like she went to the doctors and they've got the telly on really loud, and the kids with autism don't like loud noises.
You don't. Hello, boss baby.
I mean, it took 6 years to get a cuddle off him or him to even come and come to me. And over there, I was dead chuffed because he told me he loved me, and he asked for a bag of hula hoops. I was like, because he moves your hand up to get things, and he just, and you're saying, what do you want? But you know that you've got it right because he does a little run to the front door and back, so you know you've picked the right thing that he wants.
Sorry, is he 6?
He's 6. Yeah.
Oh.
But you do worry, but then it is what it is. But people need to be more accepting.
I agree, people do, but I think I don't judge people. I don't know about you, how you feel, Gem, but I don't judge people for being ignorant because it's not their fault. We've all been there. We've all been ignorant.
We have.
It's not their fault.
No, I do.
And that's why I wanted to do this, because I think, like, for example, the other day when Gem was on, and it was really hurtful because someone said, they misunderstood and thought that Gem was talking down to the chat. And Gem, you messaged me, didn't you? I didn't see it till after. I don't get any notifications from Facebook. I think I've turned them all off. That's why. I'll give you my number, Gem.
Okay.
So it said, like, Gemma was talking down to us and whatever, and Gemma wasn't. And this is another reason why we do this stream, because Gemma, it's a miscommunication.
No, because with autism, you direct. You're only speaking because you need to tell that person what it is you need to say. Otherwise, it's not worth saying. So with autism, you're more direct.
Yeah, I don't, and I think the problem is with that as well is that when your autistic brain is working much faster, and the intelligence and the memory, if it's something you're really interested in, like Gemma, I bet you've got things like Elvis, you will know so
outstanding.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to social what they call social intelligence, or whatever they call it now, your brain is focused so much on these certain subjects that it's not paying attention. Hello, Edward Athelston. It's not paying attention to the social things, because in your mind that's not as important as Elvis or whatever it is, like with Alex, computers and cars. So it takes you a moment to process the things that you aren't really interested in, and you can come across as blunt and rude, So
Yes.
what I want to do here today, and I try and do all the time, is just say to people, I not judging anyone for not understanding. It's not their fault, and we just try and get into their brains and be a bit more empathic and understand how their brains work. And then they've also got to try and they've spent their life trying to understand how our brains work.
I don't understand how my brain works anyway. I'm in my 50s and I still don't get myself.
Yeah, women do mask it a lot more, and they are a lot more hard to diagnose than boys. I've found. I've got autistic friends, females, and it's took me longer to clock. I know this sounds silly. Hello, Buying Space. How you doing, sweetheart? I know it sounds silly, Gem, and people can mock and say, "Oh, Penny's lying" or whatever. I don't really care. I can actually tell when somebody's on the spectrum.
Why would you want to lie about your son being autistic?
This is the thing.
Why would you want to lie about anything what would affect your son? And you know what I mean?
They're trying to bully me, Angel, into putting out his
grandkids
diagnosis.
are lovely, and no matter what challenges they've got in life, it's hard enough for them. They mind we other people being just bigots, really, and saying things that, you know, if they've got something constructive to say and they knew about it, well, yeah, come on and talk about it.
Gem, tell them what happened with you, and you felt, I wish I would have been there, but you actually put your diagnosis on, didn't you? Because you were being bullied up.
Yeah, I had people on my channel about a year ago. I was doing a normal stream like Penny's doing now. And I was chatting, everything was going really well. All of a sudden these people come in and started basically saying, "Oh, you've got no proof of your autism diagnosis. You can't talk about autism unless you've got a diagnosis because you don't know what it's like." I'm like, "Excuse me, what?" And then they kept going at me, saying that I was a fake, a fraud, a liar, telling me that I should take all my content down. And then I was like, you know what, screw this. And I issued my diagnosis letter. And I wish I hadn't, but I felt I had to. So it's on there.
It's not what they do, Gem. They gaslight you to feel that you have to justify myself. And some people will say to me, I get accused of all sorts. Why won't you justify it, Penny? Well, why should I? You know, if you don't believe that my husband has autism, or if you don't believe that I'm disabled, which is why I have to keep, I was saying before, I keep moving and turning my camera off because I have to keep moving. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm in permanent pain with my back. I've got no discs at the bottom of my back, bone on bone. I'm in agony permanently. So that's why I'm always shuffling about and moving, which is another reason why I don't like going on camera, because I can't stay still. So apologies for that if I keep moving. They say you're not disabled. They want to see Jack's diagnosis. No, you're not seeing any. It's not bollocks towards Athelston. And do you know what's making you think that is what the far left have done? They've turned it into, again, they've politicised it and saying that people are using it for badge of honour. No, they're not. They've done the same with the LGBT community, the Pride thing, the BLM. And then it makes people hate that community, not because they've got any prejudice against them, because they're sick to death of this badge of honour, this little gang thing where you're in that gang, you're in that gang, you're in that gang. It's wrong. The amount of trans people who come in here, for just giving you an example, who are absolutely lovely and agree with me politically, most of them, are disgusted with what the left have done by politicising the trans movement. Most normal people who are trans are not activists. The trans activists are a hardline core of a tiny minority. So this is what I'm saying. It's been
yeah, I've got stuff to say on that, but I'll leave that for a different day.
It's what they do.
I'm gonna get off. Drying my hair because I was in the bath before listening to you. But I'll carry on listening to you and I'll jump on another day. But take care anyway, Gemma.
Take care, Angel. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. And next time, flip it and say, "Prove I'm not."
Yeah. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Prove me wrong. Yeah. Bye. Anyway. Bye.
Bye.
Lots of love.
You too.
Night.
Uh,
They just said sorry. Carry on, Gem.
Ethelston, like, I understand where you're coming from, like trying to be a bit trollish or whatever, but you know, by the end of the day, you're saying that we can't function on a social level. That's not exactly accurate. I'm very able to social function. I'm able to put a lot of my coping strategies in place so that when you see me now, I'm functioning. I am working. I am listening to Penny. I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at the comments. So if you just say we can't socially function, it's a load of crap.
I agree with what you're saying there, and this again, this can't you see that this division has been caused yet again by the far left, the cultural Marxisms? Yeah, exactly. Axel. It's to me, it's not become about left and right anymore, because there's people on the left, the traditional left, aren't like this. This is what we call the new woke cultural Marxisms. It's all about, no, Scottish Davros, they said I was beyond surgery, so I'm going to get another opinion, but I don't think I really want that anyway. I'd rather struggle than have metal rods in my back. It just sounds horrendous. Hello, Ted from Wolves, how you doing? So it's, to me, it's not about the left and the right. It's, when I say the woke left, it's the cultural Marxism. They're usually employed by the government, who are working for the globalists, and they just want to divide. They want to put everybody into these little groups, and if you're not in a group, then you're shunned. And they make people like, for example, Edward Ethelston, I'm guessing, is a white. I'm just going to use. I'm going to give an example. If you're a white middle-aged male, for example, you're fooked, because you don't fit into any of these little categories, and you will be shunned. And it is wrong. I'm a big advocate for men. I think men are treated horrendously. I'm not a feminist. I do believe that women have lost a lot of their rights due to the trans agenda at the moment, that is pushing through, making women have to share spaces and with men who are pre-op. I don't want to get into a big trans debate, because, as you know, I'm a big supporter of trans people. We've got trans people on here who are post-op, and I'm talking about men are now using it as an excuse, like the rapist in Scotland. He's still got all of his parts, and he's a convicted rapist, and he wants to get into a women's jail, and they've actually raped women. Women have been raped in jail. So again, it's that vision, isn't it? And it's about people jumping on the bandwagon, Gem, like Edward Athelston said. People saying I'm autistic, but when they're not. And then people
this is
like
the thing.
you,
Yeah, I get accused of that all the time. People say to me, "Oh, Gemma, you know, how can you be autistic? Like, you know, you're verbal when you function, and you know, you're independent." I'm like, "Yeah, but do you realize how many years it's taken me to get this level? Like, I've had to practice so much at social scripting. I've had to learn to rehearse conversations in my head. I've had to learn how to dress properly. I've had to learn how to look after myself. Like, every day is a battle, because, like, bright lights, for example, is a trigger for me. I don't like bright lights, but I do it because I know I have to have lights on, or cooking myself dinner. I get so overwhelmed at the thought of having to cook myself dinner. So I'm like, right, okay, I've got to pick what I'm going to have to eat, what sauce is going to go with it. I've got to pick what vegetables I'm going to have. I have to pick my knife and fork. I have to pick what saucepan I'm going to use. I have to pick what I'm going to do, what drink I'm going to have, what cup to use. And it's so much sensory input that my brain's going tick, 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 tick all the time. And people are, oh, you're just OCD. No, I'm not OCD. I'm autistic. It's completely different. So
yeah, there's two different things. Like I say, I'm diagnosed OCD. I've got mental health problems that I'm diagnosed with, and I've spoken about them before, because certain person, mentioning no names, found out about them and put it all out there about my mental health problems, which is just utterly disgusting. So it is divide and conquer, putting people in boxes. So I felt that I had to take control of that, and I told people about my help, my diagnoses, which I didn't have to do. You know, and I think we all live with something, whether it's autism, whether it's, you know, mental health, physical health. Nobody really knows anybody, you know. We just, especially people who don't come on, you know, you guys in chat, we don't know what you're going through. A lot of you who I haven't spoken to, we don't know, do we, Gem?
No, we don't. Absolutely.
and that's why I like doing what I do, and Gemma does it as well, is that we interact with our chat, don't we, Gemma? And we
I love
get
to.
know them and everything else. But yeah, with Edward's Athelston, I hate
Hey,
saying
Jess.
Hello, Jess Don. How you doing, sweetheart? It's not his fault, because it's what the cultural Marxists have done. It's all about division, and we mustn't let them do that.
No.
And nobody has to justify anything to anybody.
No, it's exactly. By the end of the day, I know that I'm autistic. I know I have a diagnosis. I've been through the system. I've been through all the tests. I've spoken about the tests on my YouTube channel. You know, I don't have to prove anything. And like Penny said to me, Gemma, don't you dare prove yourself. I haven't. Like, you either like me for who I am and accept me, or you don't.
Exactly. So. And what I love about our Gem as well. Hello, Cole, by the way. What I love about our Gem is you get what you see, and if you don't like her, then move on. But all Gemma ever asks is, and I ask, is that give people a chance, try and understand them. Don't just think, oh well, Gemma's being a bit rude. No, Gemma's not being rude. Gemma's being Gemma, and it's not rude. It's like Al when Cynthia Cliff was saying, well, Al, come on, will you come on? No, because he knows that if he comes on, he could say he's scared. Hello, Lauren. Oh, thank you for coming over, darling. He's scared that he'll say something offensive to somebody.
Hey, Lauren.
Because he will. Hey, hon, welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming in. Dig down deep. Lovely lady. Lovely lady. I don't know whether you know who that is. I don't know whether
I've spoken to her in the chat a few times.
Well, she's got another account, but I don't know. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if she wants anyone to know who she is, but I know who she is. Really lovely lady. Yeah, well, not everyone, but yeah, we love AI. AI is very intelligent. Hello, Peter of Barbara. Oh, we've got Nikki here. I think Nikki said she was diagnosed with ADHD. I think. Let's. Hello, Nikki, love. How you doing?
I'm right. I get agitated tics. So if I start stuttering, sorry.
Oh, you're fine, sweetheart. Oh, thank you, Troll Detector. Big up, Troll Detector, sharing your channel, Gem. He's a great guy. He has been so supportive of me, and he's been really standing up to the trolls. Some of the things, Gem, I'll tell you privately what's been happening, but it's been really bad. Okay. Peter of Barbara, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi. Yeah. Are you okay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a bit agitated today. I don't really know why.
Oh. Are you okay, sweetheart? So did you say you're diagnosed with ADHD, hon? Is that right?
Yeah, I've got ADHD, dyslexic, bipolar. Oh. They've thrown everything at me.
Oh, well, and
hey, Paz.
Hey, Paz, you can pop up if you want to talk to us. I don't think Gemma will mind, will you, Gem?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Paz.
We like you, Paz. We've not spoke to you in a while. I was thinking about doing a little stream after. I'll see. I don't know. I might just wait till tomorrow because it's getting a bit late. But I want to do an open panel. There's our Nikki. Oh, Nikki's the one with the gorgeous Frenchie.
Oh, puppy. Oh, puppy.
I love your tats, darling. I do like a night. I think tats look nice.
That's what I was going to ask you. What is the butterfly
tattoo for? It's
I know it's autism, but what is it like specifically to make people understand that's what it is?
It's you can't really see it, but it's actually a jigsaw. So I don't know how well you can see it. It's still healing. So it's it's not great camera, but
okay, yeah. I like that.
It looks better when it's. Oh my god! Look at me on camera on my own. Blimey, get me off. Yeah, in real life it's a lot brighter. Hello, Coach. How you doing? Is that one of yours as well?
Hey, Coach. Yeah, Josh. Hey, Josh. He's a good buddy.
Yeah, I'll post a picture on my community page, Jane, because it's a lot. It's easier, but it's healing now.
Is it
I
at
live.
the stage?
You what, sweetheart?
Is it at the itchy stage?
Well, to be honest with you, it's I've slathered a load of stuff on it, so it doesn't really. Oh, Mara, darling, I know I don't. I'm not gorgeous at all, but
Mara, exactly what I told Penny many times.
I get really embarrassed because I really don't like myself. But yeah, so what I did, I had that done because my husband and my son got me the little bunny with the flowers for Mother's Day. I say, don't buy me presents, get me a tattoo.
Yeah, same. I'm covered.
And then I had these little butterflies added. These are just little black and black ones. And then I had that. They lead up to that. So that it's every tattoo I've got means something, you know. Otherwise, you end up regretting them, don't you?
I've got on the back of my neck. I've got footprints, and I've got some walking one way, and some walking the other way, and it's me walking in one direction and then changing direction.
Oh, that's amazing! Wow, it's nice. Oh, thank you, Jane. Hello, Mouse. How you doing?
Hey, Mouse.
That's special to you, you know. It's like I've got this arm is my son's arm. This is Jack's arm. Everything on this arm is either Jack chose or it's to do with my son.
Yeah.
And for my birthday, if I'm asking everybody in my family and Al for money, hopefully I can get a wolf for Jack because that's Jack's favourite animal. But
that's cute.
That's Jack's
but
arm.
this, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it.
Oh wow! Let me just get this up. Gem, I bet are you too scared to have one? I bet you are, aren't you, Gem?
Yeah, I was thinking a couple of years ago. I was thinking about getting like a autism flower in my hand, but I'm not good with pain. My pain tolerance sucks.
Most of my friends are all too. Oh, that's amazing! Oh my god, oh my god, it's a monkey. I'm scared of monkeys. It's still amazing though, but it scares me. Most of my friends say to me, "I'm too scared." Everyone, Gem, says, "I'm too scared. I'm too scared."
But once you have one, Gem, you'll have.
That's true.
Yeah, I want to get like an autism flower on my hand here, but my pain tolerance is so bad. I'm literally I can't do pain very well at all.
Gem, you can get. Daniel's right. Hello, Daniel. You can get numbing cream, and you can get.
Okay.
You can. You've got to get the right one.
You have it on your hand, it will fade quicker.
Depends what you have, because I've only got a simple bunny and mine's never faded.
No, Gemma said she wanted it here, didn't she?
Where do you want it? Sorry, Gem.
Yeah, on here, on this side.
Oh,
here,
you'll be fine there.
On my hand here.
There, don't.
I thought you meant
here.
Yeah.
Don't have any tattoo. Out of interest, who's got tattoos here? It would. I think you'd be okay. To be honest with you, the hands don't hurt that much. I've found. Wow, look at that, Gem.
And I got
Did you
my
see
dog.
that?
Oh wow!
Show us
Oh wow!
Just make it big for us. Wow, is that your dog you've got with you now, darling? Show us your rose. You've got a rose on the other hand.
That's cool.
Oh, look. Look at him.
Hey.
Show us the other one,
cute.
darling, Nikki. Look at that, Gem. Look at that rose. Isn't that lovely?
And then I like that a lot. That's pretty.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, wow. You got a sleeve.
Wow.
Oh, hell yeah. That's cool. I like that. That's lovely.
I'm not that brave. How long do you want for?
I think if it's good, because instead of self-harm and have a tattoo.
Yeah. What, you can't self-harm, you mean, or it's self-harming when you have a tattoo?
It's like self-harming, but I used to get told off, but now I can't because I get tattoos.
Have you stopped now, have you?
Yeah, just get tattoos. I got cream left.
Oh, well, Gem, if you ever want one, then if you come up to York, I'll come with you, darling. Hold your hand. Haven't got any, would love one, says Desi. People are
Yeah,
talking
I'm
about
definitely
how
going to
much.
think about getting one done.
If you're going to get something that's means something to you, because people do regret them. Yeah, they do. Depends what you get and who does it. You can get them done quite. You see, where I go, they had a junior artist in who was working up her portfolio, and even though she'd been going for a couple of years at a different a different place, she was new to that place, and she was doing it really, really cheap. So that's how I got mine done so cheap. Free Speech actually met her. She's lovely. So I got these last few done dirt cheap, like next to nothing. But then in return, she uses my photos in her portfolio, which I don't mind. Is there a spectrum for antisocial personality disorder? There actually kind of is. I have done a stream on personality disorders as a general. There are different types. I don't want to make it all about personality disorders. I'll be disqualified in world competition. There's different clusters. I don't want to make it about that, because we can do another stream though if you want. But there's cluster A, cluster B, and cluster C, and there are different types of personality disorders. So there kind of is in a way. But there is an autistic spectrum. It seems to me that you're in denial of autism, and I don't know why. Maybe you should come up and talk to us. Gem, would you talk? I would love to talk to you.
Yeah, I would be happy to.
Come and talk to us. So
I'm just going to ask a question. Is there like specific traits that you like all autistic people have, or is it?
It's each individual to each person. So for me, my main triggers are loud noise, crowds, and I have an issue with touch and smell. So if I'm out in public and there's a certain noise or a certain smell that happens, you'll either see me, if it's noise, I usually go like this, or if I've got my coat on, I'll put my hood up and I'll just hide underneath my hood. Or if it's a smell, you'll see me go like that. I put my hands over my nose, my mouth, so I can't stand the smell. I don't want it to get into my skin. Or if, like, a couple of days ago, the bus broke down that I was going to town in, and the bus driver decided to come to me and start touching my shoulder to get everyone off the bus. I freaked. I'm like, no. And I'm like, don't touch me. He's like, and he's like, what? And he looks at me. I'm like, don't touch me. If I want to get off the bus, I'll get off by myself. And he kept touching me. I'm like, dude. I'm like, So, I'm very...
Some things you're saying is kind of like, is that me, or is that... Because I've been diagnosed as bipolar. I'm like thinking, is that actually bipolar, or is that autism?
Well, it can be the same for bipolar. I have a friend with bipolar who I meet up with once a week, and she is very sensory avoidant. She doesn't like certain smells.
Yes, that's
like
what...
If I go to give her a hug when we meet up, I'm like, hey, it's so good to see you. And I go to put my arm around her. She's like, no, don't. So I learned not to do that because she doesn't like it. So it's each individual to each person.
It's Jack's like, when Jack was little, he was so loving, and he's a very loving little boy, as in Free Speech has met Jack, haven't you? So I'd love Free Speech to come, but I don't think she will. Would you come up, sweetheart? Jack is loving, as in he's so secure that he knows how loved he is. But when it comes to cuddles, he used to throw his arms around me, and now he's going through his thing where he doesn't want to be touched, even though he's so loved. Honestly, he's just so... The child, I tell him I love him all the time, and I go, love you all, like literally all the time. Like Free Speech knows I'm constantly telling him that I love him, and I go, come to mummy, and he'll go like that. And he's got this thing about being touched. Even his feet, like when I'm doing his toenails, I know this sounds gross, but he's only a little kid. When I cut his toenails, it's took him a long time to be able to let... I used to have to do it when he was asleep, Gem. I don't know if when you were little, your mum had to do that to you, but he doesn't like anyone touching him, and he's had to tolerate me doing his fingernails, because they grow so quick. I do them at least twice a week, and he doesn't like being touched, and everything is very ticklish. I go near him, he's like that. So I know what you mean, you know.
Yeah.
And hello, John. And what I try and do is I try and touch him, but just gently to try and get him used to it, if you know what I mean. So I'll do like little taps. You okay? You okay? If I know that if I go in too quickly, he'll have a bit of a meltdown. But he used to be really hyper, used to run around in circles, and he used to do train noises constantly. But now he goes in himself more. As I say, Free Speech has spent some time with him last week, and she's seen how he got really overwhelmed. We went into this pub for a meal when we first got in there, and there was a few people, but it was quite quiet. And he was like, I want to go home, want to go home, want to go home. And even though he knew that he could have, they did gluten free, and I said, you can have a burger and everything. And he was like, I want to go home. And in the end, we managed to calm him down. We went and sat outside, and he went and stroked. You all right? He went and stroked the horses, and then he was fine. But he goes in himself now. He doesn't go. Hang on a minute. Just give me a sec. Sorry, Gem. Sorry.
It's all right. No worries. Eccleston, what I'm going to say to your comment is that it's not a badge of honor at all or a security blanket. For me, it's a way to be proud of myself, because I've gone through most of my life up until my mid-20s when I was diagnosed, not knowing what was up with me. I was also under speech therapy at the time. I was also under a coordination therapist. I still have coordination issues. I still struggle with basic mobility. And for you to say that, you know, that we use it as a security blanket, not at all. That's just not even a nice way of putting it.
No, I think you do amazing, Gemma.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it's got a lot easier for me over the years because I've adjusted to it and learned how to craft myself. But I've been diagnosed 10 years in January, so it's kind of been a big adjustment, and I've kind of had to learn how to deal. So
you learn coping mechanisms, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I have a lot of coping mechanisms. So I have my sensory fidgets.
Sorry, Gem, to interrupt. Are you okay, you ladies, for just 2 minutes? I've got to go and sort out. Jack needs me, so
okay, no worries.
I'll be back in a minute, guys. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay, no worries. Catherine has a question for me. Gemma, does diet affect how you feel? I've heard the gluten thing before. Catherine, this is something that I've not really researched. I will do that after the stream, because a lot of people have said to me that autism could be gluten related, but I haven't had issues with gluten. I eat a lot of gluten food, so I don't really have an issue with it, but it's a possibility. Lovely Jubbly says, Gemma, do you feel a lot better now knowing what it was? Yeah, I do, Lovely Jubbly, because, you know, I know what my autism is now. I know how it presents itself. I know how my triggers are. Whereas before, I didn't know why I had constant anxiety issues. I didn't know why I was socially anxious. I didn't want to go out and do things. Whereas now, I'm very more social. I'm able to go out. I'm able to actually get things done during the day. Whereas before, I'd make an excuse for even the most basic of things, like having a shower. It would take me 2 days to have a shower sometimes. So it'd be like, oh, I'll do it later. And then it'd be, I'll do it tomorrow. Whereas now, I can't leave my flat without a shower. So I have to have a shower every day, because if not, I freak. So I have a lot more easier time with it. Everston says, I sympathise with those Gemma's conditions. I've been told that I have autistic traits too, particularly OCD, which I'm still like age 47. Well, that's your own opinion, Ethelston. You know, I respect how you feel. You know, you have your own traits and your own reasons, and I understand that. I'm not trying to argue with you. I think, you know, you're clearly not accepting what it is. So, DW, see you later. Oh, I'm sorry, BCTV, that you've had a recent bleed. That's scary. I hope you're feeling better. Carlos says to me, what sort of music do you like, Gemma? Carlos, I have quite a spectrum of different music. Like, I have my Elvis, obviously my Elvis fascination. And then I like Michael Jackson. I like listening to Ed Sheeran. I like listening to a lot of old pop bands, so things like S Club 7, Bewitched, Boyzone. For those of you that are in the UK, these are UK bands. I also like listening to old rock, so things like Johnny Cash and old legends that were back in the day. So my Tina Turner. I was brought up on that kind of music, so I listen to a lot of old school stuff. But yeah, I also have social anxieties, have done since I was a kid, but I'm not clinging onto a spectrum. I just think autism is a major condition whereby you wouldn't have the social awareness and self-awareness. Eccleston, that's where you're wrong. I'd love for you to come up on this panel and actually talk to me, because what you're saying there is not very nice. I go in front of a camera all the time on my channel, Eccleston. If you go and check out my channel, you'll see that I live at least once a week, and I do my videos nearly every day. There's a new video of me going up. So for you to say that we can't go on a camera, that's just complete nonsense. I go on camera every day, so that's nonsense. Exactly, band again. I love S Club 7. I've got all their CDs in my CD cupboard. Like, I've got all the lyric books and stuff. Exactly, Angel. This is the thing. Once you get diagnosed with autism, you are told you are on the autism spectrum. I was told, congratulations, you're on the autism spectrum. So I was told that was what my diagnosis was. And I'm classed as what they call level 2, which is high functioning severe. So that's what I was diagnosed with. So yeah, exactly, Angel. The NHS labels everybody. Like, my diagnosis report is like 40 odd pages. Like, I've read it back to front multiple times. And I'm just like, okay. So yeah, it's a lot of labels. Okay, Penny, no worries. Yeah, is that mouse? It isn't a spectrum. You know, you've got like what you call severe on one end and then independent function on one end. So, you know, there's different levels of. I've actually done a video about this topic, about levels and function levels, because a lot of people accuse me. You know, I am very high functioning. Oh, Penny, okay. That's I'm sorry that little Jack's scared. That's awful. It's called a spectrum because it's a cop out. It's actually, Eccleston, I wish you'd come up here and talk, because you are very, very against autism by the sounds of it. I don't want to have an argument with you on Penny's channel, but to say it's a cop out, that's really insulting. My autism isn't a cop out at all. Like, you know, yes, you might not agree with labels, but it's not a cop out. That's just being rude. Exactly, Scottish Direction. I love Johnny Cash. I actually went and saw a Johnny Cash tribute a few weeks ago. He's brilliant. Sounded like him, looked like him, you know, had the acoustic guitar, did all the classic country songs, and a lot of people actually can sound like the real thing. You know, they're not. They actually sound really good tribute people. Hello, Sprinks and Stefan. Catherine says, Gemma, do you think Elon Musk is on the autism spectrum? Yes, no, because yes, he is socially awkward. Yes, he doesn't like crowds or people, but he is scientifically gifted. He is very fascinated with, I guess, his own way of politics. I'm not going to get political on Penny's channel because it's not the right thing to do, but Elon Musk, I do believe, is on the spectrum, but I don't think he is as severe as he's making out. I think he's very more higher functional than I am. I'm quite up there on a function level, but I think Elon Musk is a lot different to what I am. Mara, do you like Kenny Rogers? Yes, Mara, I do. I listened to a lot of Kenny Rogers in the past, from growing up with my nan and stuff. So, yeah, I'd like that Edward's guy to come up here, because I think the link's in the chat, Edwards. If you want to come up here and talk to me, like, yeah. Yes, ban again. Elon Musk is gifted. I'm not debating that. He's a hell of a gifted, like more gifted than what I ever will be. But I don't think he's using his autism in the most correct way. I think he's using it as a political advantage, and I don't think that's right, because then that puts me in a funny position myself, because he's like, well, I'm autistic. I speak for the whole lot of us. I'm like, no, you don't. So Elon Musk needs to be very careful, because he doesn't speak for everybody. Nor do I. That's what I'm saying. I don't speak for everybody either. Yes, he is Ethelston. If you go on to YouTube and type Elon Musk autism, there's actually a live video of him actually announcing from his own website that he's autistic. So he is officially autistic, as what he says he is. Yeah. Bailey Bruce says it's a spectrum because of varying abilities. Exactly, Bailey. This is what I'm saying. It's a spectrum. We have this whole line thing. Oh, sorry, Nikki. Nikki disappeared. Oh, sorry. Oops. More this chat's jumped. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, Mouse Nation. Elon Musk is officially autistic. Yeah. Elon Musk started having hair transplants in his 20s, which is a sign of self-conscious vanity, insecurity, definitely not a sign or a trait of autism. No, I wouldn't say the hair transplant is a sign of autism, but I think he is autistic, but he's misusing it for a political advantage and a political game, which is where I'm not. That's the difference. I'm using my autism for awareness and acceptance. I'm not using it to score political points with a political narrative that wants to see me as broken and damaged. So, yeah. There's a huge distance between each person with autism. That's why they use the word spectrum. Exactly, Angel. This is what I've been saying the whole time. It's a big, long spectrum. Like, yes, he did BCTV. I actually did a video on him calling him out on that BS, because about 2 years ago, he did a video about this Neuralink thing, and he basically claimed he wanted to eradicate autism. Well, he got... Welcome back, Penny.
Hiya. Carry on,
Jack.
Jen.
Basically, people are bringing up Elon Musk debate, and they're saying that people don't think he's autistic. And I was just trying to say my opinion, and this Ethelston guy seems to have it in for me.
Why are you being a dick, mate? Like you disappeared for a long time, and you've been on this channel for a long time, and you come back, and I gave you a wrench again, but you're being a bit of a dick tonight. Don't know why. Look,
he keeps saying to me that autism isn't a spectrum, that
it
autism
is real,
is a security
right?
blanket.
If you believe, you can have a different opinion. Remember, YouTube isn't a free speech platform, so we have to stay within
Reason.
our, we have to stay within their community guidelines. You can have your opinion, but how many times are you going to keep on giving us your opinion? How many times have you told us that you don't believe in autism? That's fine. You've told us. Okay. Now you've bordered from giving us your opinion to trolling and disrupting the chat. Okay. So you've given your opinion, which we accept your opinion.
Yeah.
We've tried to give you our opinion, but you won't listen. We accept your opinion. You're now repeating yourself. You're bordering on, well, you're trolling now. So we've got two options. You can either come on panel and discuss it properly like adults, or you can just come out of, leave the chat and go and calm down, whatever you want to do. You will get timed out. Okay. You're disrupting the chat now. you've told us 1,000 times that you don't believe in autism.
I've
Which that
invited
is
him
your
whilst you were
opinion.
gone, Penny. Whilst you were dealing with Jack, I said to him, "Come on, panel. I'll talk to you. We'll talk it out."
I've asked him, yeah.
And I've been nice to him, and he's just constantly gone on and on and on at me in the chat.
Yeah. Certain, like he usually goes in all the Patriot streams. He's got a wrench because I've known him for a while, but yeah, it's boring now. Like, yeah, we know your opinion, mate. You don't believe in autism, but then what I don't get is why would somebody who doesn't believe in autism come into an autism stream when you've not been around for how long? Hello, Paddy Addy. Well, if you don't, well, what is it then?
Hey,
Come on the panel. The link's gone in and come and discuss it like adults, yeah. Because this stream isn't about if autism exists or not. Okay, this isn't about that. This is a friendly discussion on how autism affects Gemma, her diagnosis process. There's a lot of people asking questions about autism, and a lot of people have been asking for this stream, as has Gem. Yeah, it's not the stream. You're actually disrupting the chat, and you're actually causing distress to Gemma as well. Well, when you've been saying over and over, you've said that you've said that. You said
You said it a little while ago that you didn't believe in autism, that people use it as a security blanket. That's exactly what you said.
It's just trying to troll. I think the best thing to do, we've given him the opportunity to come on. He doesn't want to come on the panel. And he's just, if he carries on, Jane will just time him out. Jane and Mouse Nation and a few others. I've got managing moderators, so, and Gemma has as well. So
yep.
There's a few managing mods in the house. If he carries on, Jane, let him have one or two more. And then does anybody else want to come up and discuss anything? Has anyone got any questions? That's very true, AI.
Hey, AI.
Hello, you should come and say hello. AI, I don't believe in Christianity, but it still exists. There you go. AI is an atheist. I don't know much about autism, but sorry, carry on, Gem.
I was just saying it's fair enough about AI not believing in Christianity. Like, that's fair enough. It's individual opinion.
Yeah, it's like God, isn't it? You know, no one's actually seen God.
No.
Autism's in a few situations. And the thing is as well, I think that with autism and ADHD, that the two separate points as well, they used to be more intertwined, but they're not now. Children used to be seen as just naughty. And I can understand where Edward Athelston is coming from in a way, because some people use autism and ADHD, don't they, Gem? You've probably seen it yourself.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Use
it as a weapon and as an excuse for bad behaviour, and that does happen as well.
Yes, it does.
You know,
yeah.
And it's really difficult for people like us, because when Jack was little and we're in a supermarket, like we can't do supermarket shops. We haven't done them for years. We get them delivered because he will just he would literally do laps of the entire store, and we couldn't control him. And then I'd get people saying, control your kid. He'd go missing. He would hide. He'd go into the shelves where the toilet rolls are on the lower shelf. He would pull all the toilet rolls out. He would climb in the shelf and pull the toilet rolls in, and we'd lose him. And we'd have the security guards. And it got to the point where he wouldn't get in the trolley. He wouldn't go on reins. And we couldn't do supermarkets. It's a lot better now. It's the opposite now. He goes in himself. But again, it's still too much for him to do a shop. But we had people saying, you've got a naughty child. And that used to really, really wind me up, because I'd say, he's not naughty. He's actually a really, really good kid. And like I say, Free Speech met him. He's such. She was shocked. She went, "Isn't he good?" I went, "Yeah." She's seen him on 3 different days, and he's such a good child. He just gets overwhelmed. He's not naughty, Gem. I don't think he's ever been naughty.
No,
if he has
he's not. That's the
meltdown,
assumption. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's had a meltdown, he's had moments when he was littler where he'd be hitting and kicking and it wasn't his fault. It wasn't that he was a naughty child. So, you know, I've had big arguments on people in the supermarket when they've come over and said, you know, your child's this, your child's that. There's one time where he threw himself on the floor, and I didn't pick him up because I knew that he was having a meltdown. And they said, pick your kid up. And I said, no, I'm not picking my kid up.
No, you don't want to touch him when he's in that
Exactly.
moment of time, because it's the worst thing you're going to do.
The
You're going to
worst
trigger
thing
him
you
more
can
than
do,
you
yeah.
would.
And then he's only like, he was in nappies for quite a long, very long time. He won't use public toilets because he doesn't like the hand dryer. So even if there's a hand dryer on, like Al will say, I'll turn it off by the wall. He won't even go near anywhere with a hand dryer. So this is all very real stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So has anyone got any more questions for our Gem? I'm sure that Gemma, have you got anything you want to add, Gem, about your experiences on YouTube? How long have you been on YouTube, darling?
Yeah, I've been on YouTube. It'll be 10 years in January will be when I've been on YouTube. I think the thing that I want YouTube and people to know is if you see someone that is autistic or is presenting as autistic, please don't assume that they're lying or shifty. The amount of times I get called shifty, or like when Penny said earlier about moving around, that's the thing I want to bring up as well. I am a fidgeter. I do fidget a lot, and Penny knows that I often move about, or you might see me playing my hair, or I might play my fingers. It's because I get sensory overload and my brain's going at me, and the way that I deal with it to self-regulate is to fidget. So people think, oh, she's trying to lie, she's being shifty, she's being deceptive. No, I'm not. I'm self-soothing myself so that my brain can have a break, because my brain's constantly going boom, 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 boom at me all day, every day. And the way that I do it is just go, and I self-soothe myself. So a lot of you don't know, like today, I've been sitting here playing with the end of my dress just to keep myself calm. I sit here or my jewelry, I know my bracelet's on my wrist, so I'm just been sitting here spinning my bracelets. And that's the way that I keep myself calm. So
do you find, so we've got a quick question and then I'll move on to another question I've got for Gem. Have you tried any alternative treatments? Was that to Gemma? Because Jack's not on any medication, by the way. We've only just got the diagnosis, but I don't think I would if they offered it him. Thank you,
I've been offered like herbal medications and stuff, but I don't want to risk it because of my sensory issues. I am very sensitive to a lot of different things. So for me, I don't think, for me personally, I'm not willing to do it. But I know some people with autism who do. They do have herbal medications for sleeping and stuff like that. So it just depends on the individual person.
I think that personally, Gem, and I take something called ashwagandha, and it is I can send you a link to it. And
okay,
I use the highest quality one I can get, and you've got to get the root as well. And it's an Indian herb, and you can only get it in certain places in India, and it helps with anxiety. It helps with thyroid function because I think it's an underactive thyroid, and I started taking, I didn't want to take any medication for it, so I took ashwagandha, quite a high dose as well, because it's the only way it works, and it calms you down, it helps you sleep, and it does work, honestly. Like I'm so much calmer than I used to be on ashwagandha. And it's really helped my thyroid as well. I used to get more puffy than I am now. So I know a lot of people go on about, oh, herbal this, herbal that, but there are really herbs that do actually help, and that is one I would. Thank you. There's a lot of people subbing to you, Gem. Thank you so much. I will. If you're watching on the replay, I'll put Gemma's channel in the description. So if you want to sub to Gemma, let's get Gemma's subs up. And I appreciate everybody. John's just subbed. Mara's just subbed. Desi's just subbed. Thank you, everybody.
Mara's just asked me a question here. How did you get on during lockdown? That's a two-part question, I guess. For me, the first, should we say, world situation because of YouTube's guidance.
We can't talk about it, can we?
We have to be very careful. So, world situation. I dealt with it. I was all right the first world situation, I was all right. I was like, woohoo! I'm used to be on my own. I'm good. I had plenty of food. I did all right. And then the second announcement got made to me, and I was like, oh, great. So I've gone from being on my own to now being social. Now I'm going to have to go back to being on my own again. So then it's like, oh, I've got to go back to being on my own. I can't see anyone apart from if I go outside and be in a public place. So I was like, great. Okay, I've got to go outside in the cold. It's wet. I don't really want to have to go outside. And then when the third time happened, I actually rang my dad when we could have these social bubbles, what they called it.
Yeah.
And I went and lived with my dad for a month and a half out of a suitcase, and stay in my dad's spare room. And every day I cried. I was like, I don't know why I can't like this. My anxiety was so bad to the point where I was starting to pull my hair out because I was stressed. And if you can actually see, if I move my headphones here, you can see here, I actually had ball patches where I pulled my hair out. So I was getting so stressed out with the anxiety. I was actually giving myself
live with your dad
patches
for a bit then, so you weren't on your own in your. Is it a flat that you live in?
Yeah, flat. Yeah.
So it's even worse because you don't have a garden.
Yeah, I couldn't actually go out and do walks or do any of the outdoor stuff because I haven't got nowhere to walk to. The only park that is near me is about 20 minutes, and we were told not to go further than a certain distance. I'm like, well, that doesn't work because there's nothing for me to get to. Every park near me is over half an hour walk, so it's pretty much made me very limited. So
has it made you, now you've come out the other side of that, and has it made you appreciate getting out more? And do you think that might have made you a little bit more confident in a way, because you're like, well, you're grateful for, I know it sounds silly, but you can now go out and you can do what you want.
Oh yeah, I think my confidence has gone a lot more straight up because I've been able to go out and associate with people, see my family, my sister, my nephew, especially my nephew. Not being able to see my nephew for them 2 years, it's killed me. I used to phone him up crying because I'm very close to my nephews. A lot of people know, Penny knows that I see him a lot now. And for that 2 years, I was in tears. Every day I would text him crying. He would phone me crying. Say, I want to come sleep round, like Gemma. I want to sleep round. I'm like, well, you can't. Not allowed to mix with each other. And he literally would phone me up every day. He's like, can I come round? Can I come round? I'm like, no, because we're not allowed. And it made me so sad because I knew I wanted to have him here. I wanted to give him a cuddle, but I knew if I did, I'd break the law. So it was a case of I had to adjust and go,
question for Mouse Nation to you first, Gem, and then I'll answer. What is the most challenging part for you of being autistic?
Oh God. Communication, eye contact, I'm gonna have to say, because a lot of people confront me in my videos. Every single time I upload a video, and the first comments I get is about my eye contact. People are like, well, if you're autistic, then do better eye contact, otherwise I get accused of lying or being deceptive. They're like, oh, you're just doing this to beg for money. No.
Yeah, people think because you're monetized that you're begging for money. No, YouTube, the thing is, YouTube put ads on your channel whether you're monetized or not now. So they put ads on Jack's channel, for example. They make money from Jack's little videos. One of his shorts have got nearly 22,000 views, and one of his actual videos of when we went to the Haribo store last year has got over 5,500 views. So some of Jack's videos are doing so well for a channel with 300 and odd subs, and YouTube are getting money from that. So when they offer you ads, I used to say no, and then they're putting ads on anyway, and it's like, well, why should they get that when it's our hard work that goes in? And channels are free to spend it on what they want. I'm just upfront with mine. I just say, right, okay, mine goes on this, and I get told, oh, well, you doesn't go to the bunnies. Well, it actually does, but even if it didn't, it's got nothing to do with anybody. If people want to donate, that's their choice, isn't it, Gem? And what you spend your membership on, I'm guessing you use it for like your Zoom. You use Zoom, don't you? Like, people don't realize the cost of StreamYard. You have to have a really high internet connection. You have to pay for streaming software, streaming equipment. Like when my laptop broke and people were going, oh, she's begging for a laptop. No, I wasn't. People offered. People said, right, Penny, how can we keep you on air? And that people
Yeah.
offered and said, let us donate, because if we don't, then there's going to be no more streams. And people
Yeah.
offered and wanted to help.
Yeah.
You can't win, Gem.
We all came together. This is the thing that you guys don't realize, that for me and Penny, streaming on YouTube to you guys to spread our message and our truth and our experiences, we have to pay out a lot of money. Like, buying a laptop is a lot of money. Like, my laptop I'm on now cost me £450, and half of it was donations, half of it was my own money. And people are, oh, you begged for donations. No, I didn't. I showed a receipt, I showed the box, I showed where I got it from. I'm like, I didn't beg for nothing. Like, everything's legit. I proved everything. And I'm like, you know what? That you didn't realize the cost of it. Paying for Zoom, I'm paying $20 a month for my Zoom package, which means I can have unlimited streaming hours. I don't have to worry about being told I can't stream. I can do private calls, private emails. And that Zoom is perfect. It works my computer perfectly. It doesn't take up too much bandwidth, and I can do what I want anytime I need to. So, Zoom is good for me. It's easy. I can connect quick to YouTube or any other site anytime I need to.
So yeah, it's just jealous trolls, Gem. Like there's much bigger channels that just do whatever they feel. They spend their money on what they want, and no one says a word. We're honest, which I'm very honest.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, she's not spending it on. Well, it doesn't matter what I spend it on, but I'm just telling you what I spend it on. Thank you, Stefan. Staffan, is it Staffan? I don't know. It's
Staffan,
funny.
yeah.
And the question from As Nation was, what are the challenges for me with Jack? Like I say, they've changed a lot. Hello, Ed. They've changed a lot, because it used to be his hyperactivity, and it was so, wouldn't stay still. Now it's become more, he doesn't want to go out. He's going through this thing where he's not going to forestry school every week now. Sometimes he wants to go, sometimes he doesn't. He does his karate. That's been really good for him. He does his football, and it's a routine now. Like Gemma will know, it's got to be routine.
Oh, yeah.
If football gets moved, because his football at the moment, if the coach is on holiday or they were seeding the pitch this week, so he had to get moved again. And last week he did really well, because it was karate. It was karate on a Thursday and football on a Tuesday. They moved football to the Thursday as well, so he ended up going straight from karate, getting off his gi, whatever you call it, his pajamas, I call it.
Yeah.
And it really overwhelmed him, as you can imagine, Gem, going from
one straight to another,
to another one. And he got home and he was like, I said, are you okay? And he's like, no, Mummy, I don't want to do that again. So
it's too much sensory stimuli, because you're going from one environment that's loud, and then you're going to another environment that's different in a different place, and you got that adjustment. It's
different coaches as well. So you've got a sensei that it's indoors, it's enclosed, you can't really speak. They're very disciplined to running around a football pitch and shouting. Everyone's, kids are shouting, the coach is shouting. It's a different sport, and it's that was quite difficult. And I think that your changes, and also just getting him out at the moment, it's like I try and get him out as much as I can. Like we were out last week. We're out all the time, especially in the summer. I'll be doing less live streams of an evening. Like I said this before, anyone that, hello, Punch Narrative. Hello, Hyde. I'm going to say that wrong. How do you say your name? Hello, Ed. So we try and get out more in the summer with the homeschool groups and educational visits. And it's just a challenge now getting him to go out the house. He's become very in himself. But once he's out, he's we went out a couple of weeks ago. We went to this big
Hey,
place.
Puncture the Narrative.
Hello, Puncture Narrative. Stockhell Park, where they have like enchanted forest, and they had like a pantomime. They have big play parks. It's all natural play. It's not like a theme park. It's like just big wood parks, and for children to just enjoy the forest and nature. And when we first got there, hello Simon the cat, don't ignore me. When we first get anywhere now, Gem, he used to be really hyper. When we first get somewhere now, he doesn't speak. And you'll only see the friends that he sees regularly. He won't meet any new people. He won't speak. And he just, it takes him about 2 hours to just relax and get used to the environment. Do you find that, Jem, when you're out anywhere?
Yeah, so today I have a perfect example. Me and my friend went out for lunch this afternoon.
Oh, that's lovely.
We always meet up on a Friday. It's me and my friend's thing, and the weather, as we all know, is abysmal. And I went out, got rather wet, and the first thing that I freaked out about was I knew my hair was damp. My hair, I could feel it. I was like, oh. Yeah. And my friend said, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" I'm like, "My hair it's damp. It's wet. Like it feels horrible." And she said, "Gemma, it's fine. Just leave it." I'm like, I could feel the raindrops. I could feel the pressure of the rain hitting my head, and I'm like, no. And I was sitting in the restaurant. All I could feel was drip, 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 drip onto my dress. I'm like, oh really? I'm sitting here. I'm trying to grit my teeth and go, calm down, Gemma. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. And I'm like, I got home on the bus. So I'm like, okay, I'll get home. I'll calm down for a few hours, have a nap, so that I'm ready for Penny's stream this afternoon. So I sat down. I lay down on the couch here behind me with my weighted blanket that I have here. I fell asleep for like 2 and a bit hours, and then woke up about an hour before she was like, I'm like, I had no dinner. I need to go and have dinner, and then we're streaming Penny. So I was like, okay, cook my dinner quickly, do my video, ate my dinner, sat down, had a drink, got myself comfy. I'm like, I looked at my clock. I'm like, oh, it's 20 minutes till I'm on with Penny. So I was able to go, okay, Gemma, calm down, because you've been out all morning, and then I've had time to go. Otherwise, I would have been
You did really well to do all that in one day and have this stream. You did your video. You prepared your meal. You went out for lunch. You've just reminded me talking about hair as well. With when Mouse Nation asked that question about challenges, I tell you the biggest challenge with Jack as well is getting his hair cut. He is absolutely terrified of noise, hair clippers, and that is his big. And I was so proud of him because, say, he's 8 years old and he's never been able to have hair clippers. He used to go to the hairdressers. He couldn't sit there. He would fidget. They'd shout at him, and I says, right, that's it now. I'll do your hair. So trying to use scissors when you want to get hair short is so difficult. So it would take me about an hour to do Jack's hair, being a boy, when it's short, and he couldn't sit there. So I says, right, okay, and I says, if Mummy orders you your own special clippers, and I got him some extra wide ones so that they cut quicker. They're called quick cut. If Mummy buys me special ones just for you, and and I says you could earn some points for your PlayStation. I'll give you some extra points to buy you some things for your Minecraft, and and give him a reward. And I psyched him all up for it. This was about a month ago, and these clippers came, and I put the noise on, and I put it on the lowest setting. I was saying, look, this is it on Mummy's arm, it doesn't hurt. And he did. I was so proud of him, Gem, and he sat there and he let me cut his hair with clippers. And 8 years it took, and now that it's due to be cut again, and I'm trying to get him psyched up, ready for it. I'd say cutting hair and vacuuming. Now I have to vacuum at least 2-3 times a day with the bunnies because of bits of hay. Obviously they've got litter trays and everything else, but bits of hay can get anywhere. And he's terrified of the vacuum. Absolutely terrified.
I don't like doing vacuuming. I know I have to vacuum my flat and stuff, and every time I know I want to do it, I'm like, okay, put the music on, Gemma, blare it out loud so you don't hear the noise. So I literally have my hi-fi system so loud that when I'm hoovering, I'm like, don't want to hear it. And then my next door neighbour actually came around the other day going, are you going to make yourself deaf? He goes, your music is so loud. He goes, I can hear it through the wall. I'm like, yeah, I have to. I said, if I don't, I said, I hear the noise that vacuum. I'm like this. I said, my
So your
autism sets
vacuum
it
was
off.
on, and you meant the music was on to cover up the vacuum. Is that what you
Yeah.
meant? Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
My next door neighbour was so concerned about me. He's like, you're going to make yourself deaf. He goes, it's so loud, Gemma. I can hear it through the wall. He goes, it's way too loud. I'm like, I have to have it like that, because if I don't, then the noise from the vacuum will set my triggers off, and then it won't get done. So I have to do it. That's the only way I can do it.
Vacuum is difficult. Yeah, Jane's right. So yeah, we know these people stalk and stuff. These people are insane, but they want to derail the stream, and I don't want to give the trolls any attention. So that's why Jane's saying that, guys. But yeah, I'm totally with you. I totally get it, and I support any victims of these crazy stalkers. But I don't want to derail the stream. But yeah, we know. Trust me. The clothes. Yeah. Have you tried? Yeah, he has ear defenders. Yeah, but then he doesn't like the feel of them. So
ear defenders suck. They're painful. Ow.
Yeah, when we go out, Jack basically just because Jack's only just been recently just answering BCTV Bridget there, because he's only been recently diagnosed, he's still got to have a full sensory assessment. I don't know if you had to go through that, Gem. So he's got his diagnosis, and then on the bottom, I think Jane's seen his diagnosis. It says that he needs a full sensory assessment, which is another level. And now I've got to try and fight to get that, which is a whole new ball game. So I've been told I've got to self-refer him to the neurodiversity team, which hasn't really been very helpful. Jack's social worker, we finally got his social worker because he's got his diagnosis. He's just left abruptly. I haven't heard of him for a few weeks. I hope everything's okay. I get a phone call. He's left. You've now got us to go through it all again. So I've got to start all over again now.
Sucks.
Yeah, they were doing like this other assessment to get him any sort of equipment that he needs or any support, and getting him to a occupational therapist because his coordination, he falls over a lot.
Yeah, gosh, I've got bruises everywhere. I'll keep falling over.
Yeah, he's always bruised. Jack does have autism, for those who don't. Yeah, thank you, Jane. Jane's seen the diagnosis. And even before he got his full diagnosis, he was under the speech therapy, and he was in the system for like 4 years before that. So it's just ridiculous, isn't it, Jane, how these people. And I'm not showing Jack's diagnosis, and I'm not showing Al's diagnosis either. I think, and I wouldn't let Gemma do that again now. I'd tell her off.
Yeah. It's like, by the end of the day, it's like, we know that we have it. Penny knows that Jack and her husband have autism. I know that because Penny's explained it to me and everything.
I can show you, Jem, privately as well. I'm not showing
and the thing is, it doesn't matter if you believe them or not. By the end of the day, we're the ones that we know who have it. We live with it every day. We have the challenges of noise, smell, touch, taste. Sight is another one. People forget about sight. Sight is one of the main 5 triggers that I have. Like, I can see things close up like now is absolutely fine, but if you ask me to go outside and look at, say, a bus timetable, or you ask me to look at a car registration plate, I can't do it. My eyes go all blurry. I get such a headache. I'm like, what? Am I meant to look here? Am I meant to look here? And I get so wound up about it and stressed out. I'm like, no, I just can't do it. If you say to me,
bad as well.
Look at your screen here, I'm fine. But if I go outside and you ask me to look at the bus timetable, I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah, Jack's been wearing glasses since he was about 3. He started off with his left eye would randomly turn in, and
I went my one does that one.
Does yours do it as well? And I went to doctors and they said no, he looks fine. So I says, right, okay. So I took him away, and it did it again. And then, so luckily I took some photos because it would.
Okay.
Went back to the doctors and I said, it's turning, looks fine. Show the photos. Oh, that has turned in. Right. let's get him referred immediately to the hospital. So he was put under a hospital for 3 years. He's only just been released from the hospital recently for his eye, so he can now see the opticians locally. But he used to have to go and have all these tests done on his eyes, and they said that he has really strong lenses in his glasses.
Yeah.
We have to pay extra to get them thinned, otherwise they would be like that. His prescription's that high for such a young child, and the only thing that stops his eye from turning in are glasses. So if he doesn't wear them, if he takes them off to shower or anything, I don't know, straight away his eye just goes in. It only straightens when he's got glasses on. As soon as he takes them off, the left eye turns in and the right eye will start to go in a little bit as well. Hello, Jacqueline Jones.
Yeah,
how you doing?
I've actually been diagnosed with what they call as a stigmatism. So since I was,
it's got a funny name. Hype or something. I bet you it's the same. Do you not wear glasses, Gem, ever?
Yes, I used to up until I wore them from the age of 4 till I was 15. Then I had a break. So they told me that my eyesight had improved. Then I was back on glasses again when I was 17 till 19. And then I am meant to have reading glasses now, but I think it's a sensory thing. When they put them on my nose here, I get really agitated, so I stop wearing them.
Right, yeah, Jack's been really good actually, because like having that feeling, it must have been awful, and he is actually really good with his glasses, but he gets agitated. No, he didn't wear a patch, lovely jubbly. Apparently,
I did. I used to have a patch on this eye here on my glasses. I used to have a patch covering my eye up.
We were told by the hospital that the patch wouldn't have made any difference because his eye will never. I'm sorry if it's playing up. It's okay for me, but it's YouTube again. You know, they keep kicking people out because he keeps jumping up from like 10, losing 10 people, back up by 10 people. So it's YouTube by the looks of it, guys. Yeah, with Jack, they said that. I said, what about a patch? And they said, if he has a patch, it won't achieve anything because his eye will never stop turning in. The only time it will stop turning in is when he's got his glasses on, because his eyesight's so poor. It's like his eye freaks out because it can't see and it just turns. And they said there's 2 options. He can either have surgery to straighten up the eye, and he'll still need glasses because his eyesight's poor, or his glasses straighten up his eye. And we were like, no, we're not having surgery. I said, Jack, surgery? No. So just wear glasses. And now he's just had some new ones again. He has to have new ones every year.
Yeah,
when he gets
as you guys can see, like my eye here turns in. Like sometimes when I'm looking directly at the camera, I can feel my eye. It's like it rolls. It sort of goes. And I'm like, I get conscious about it. Some people are like, oh, Gemma, your eyes fidget. And I'm like, yeah, it does it all the time. I'm used to it.
I think it sounds, you know, and I know this sounds silly, but I do think it's linked to autism, because I did a lot of research, and they found a link between poor eyesight and autism. And if you look at the majority of autistic people, they wear glasses. Not all people who wear glasses are autistic, but all the people that I know, apart from Gemma, but Gemma does have eye problems. She's just said wear glasses. Al wears glasses. Jack wears glasses. My friend Becky wears glasses. She's autistic. God, everybody I know who's got autism wears glasses. And is it just a coincidence? Has this been? Yeah, you turn. You know, when you wear glasses, Gem, does your turn go? Because Al's does.
Yes,
does.
It reduces to a fact, and then as soon as I take them off to go to bed or to have a shower, I can feel as soon as I take it off, my eye just goes. And I'm like, I am due to go to the opticians in 2 weeks, so I think I will be back on glasses again.
I would look at it. Well, he does have poor eyesight, Angel, but looks at him. No, I haven't, Mama Bear. I'll have a look at that. Thank you for coming in, by the way. I don't know if I said hello to you, sweetheart. Does he have glasses, Angel? Because if the child is under 5, I think it is, If they have eye problems, they go to the hospital. I think if they're 5 or above, they go to the opticians. But Jack was under the opticians till he was 7 because his eyesight was so severe. And then they said, right, okay, he's okay to see the opticians now. But if there's any problems, they will just send him back to hospital. But the eye test at the hospital used to have these drops in, doesn't need them at the optician.
God,
and
eye
it was
drops. Oh
awful.
God, they were vile. I used to have
It
them.
was
It's
just
horrendous. My
But
mum had to.
luckily, they don't
My
do that
mum would
now.
have to lay me down. They'd have to literally put the drops in with me laying down because I wouldn't sit still. So my mum had to
Yeah.
force me to lay down and then pull my eye down and literally drop them in whilst I
The
was
eye
laying
test
down.
at the hospital, Gem, for the little ones, they don't do it at the optician, but if you have an eye test at the hospital when you're a child, they put drops in.
Yeah, they
And
do.
Jack would scream and they'd say, well, if he doesn't have the drops, he can't have the test. If he doesn't have the test, we won't give him any glasses. And if he doesn't wear glasses, his eyeball's never going to straighten up. So my poor little boy was like 4. He wasn't diagnosed then, but obviously we knew. And they had to hold him down. I'll never forget, Jen, when they did the blood test at Leeds. He was only 4.
Yeah.
And we went. He has a lot of digestive problems. We were seeing the gastroenterologist at the Leeds Children's Hospital, and they said, right, he needs blood tests. And we knew that he'd had them before, and as long as he's distracted, he's got like an iPad or something. We took him there. They sent us down to this department, and we got there, and it was just the normal blood taking service. It wasn't like a children's place where the children have got special play staff and laptop iPads and distraction. And they literally got him in this chair. It was only 4. They held him down. 2 big nurses held him down and forced a catheter into his arm and took 6 vials of blood out of it. And I've never known anything so horrendous in my life. He was screaming. He came out, his arm was bruised. And that was 4 years ago, and he will not go for a blood test. He won't go near hospitals now. We had to stop seeing the gastroenterologist because he wouldn't go. And we're now under dietitians and stuff, but it's been bad. He still remembers it.
Yeah, of course he will, because it's traumatic. The thing is, hospitals for people with autism is not a great environment because you've got to take into fact that there's noises, there's crowds, you've got smell, you've got strangers who want to do stuff to you. And the thing is that no one explains anything. When I was in hospital for my latest carpal tunnel that I had done back in December.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And it was awful. Like the way the doctors spoke to me with such disdain, and they talked to my mum that I was a baby. They're like, "Oh, you do as Gemma has to do this and this and this and this." My mum's like, "Why are you talking to me? Talk to Gemma. She's the patient. She's the one who's having the surgery." And they're like, "Oh, well, because of Gemma's mental capacity, Gemma's not going to understand." I'm like, "What? Huh? I'm mentally compliant to be here. You're about to inject me. I'm given consent. I understand the risks of what's going to happen. Don't try and tell me that I don't have mental capacity when I'm the one who referred myself." So I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Disgusting. I'm not ignoring chat, by the way. I am catching these questions. It was awful, but like, I just, before I get onto this question, Mama Bear, I just want to add something quickly because I'll forget, and I remembered this from earlier. I don't know about Gemma, but Jack does this stimming and he's humming to himself. Now he's up now. I can hear him in the lounge. He's humming to himself. He does it all the time. It's like a soothing thing. And he will sway like this. And he's always humming, always. He can never be quiet. He has to either hum or move. It's called stimming. And he does that constantly. I don't know whether you do it, Jem, but
yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen me. Like, I don't know when Penny was dealing with Jack earlier. Like, I was sitting here like reading the comments, and like you might see me go like this, or sometimes like I fiddle with the ends of my hair, and I'll sit here and be like, and I'll just play my hair, or if I get stressed on my stream. No, this is the thing. It's a self-regulatory behaviour. Like sometimes. Like if I have my jewelry on, for example, my bracelets, and if I'm getting a bit anxious, someone says to me, "Gemma, are you all right?" And I won't acknowledge my chat. I'll just be like sitting going, okay, Gemma, calm down. It's all right, calm down. I'll sit here and just twist my bracelets around my hand, and people are like, oh, Gemma's fidgeting. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually self-soothing myself so I can come back to my chat and go, I'm okay. And they're like, oh, what's the matter? I'm like, I was getting stressed out, but I'm fine. Once I'm able to self-regulate, I'm fine. But it just takes me a little minute to go and calm. Because otherwise, I get to a point where I'm bang, and that's it.
Yeah, it's I don't think you even know. Jack doesn't know he's doing it. But yeah, it's really frustrating because I'll get onto sleep in a minute, but with his sleep pattern, like he'll get onto a fantastic sleep pattern at like 7 till 6, and then he'll be going through a sleep pattern where now he's back on a sleep pattern where he won't settle, but that's because of what happened the other day, but we won't talk about that. But that really has affected him.
Of course it has.
But yeah, going back to you, what? Sorry, Gem.
Of course it has. Like when you get scared by a situation, obviously I'm not going to discuss it in depth, but all I was going to say is when you get scared by something that's traumatic or that happens to you, like for me, I can say when I lost my grandma, as you know, that set off a really big trigger for me, and she's been gone 5 years this year in December.
Oh.
That day that happened was the most biggest trigger in my life. I went from having someone who I class as a parent to then all of a sudden my life was vroom. I saw nothing but anger, denial. I was upset. I was very bitter. I did a stream crying, screaming, yelling about it. So I'm like, how dare can someone take her away from me when she was my world and now she's gone? I'm like, my autism went from being fairly calm to all of a sudden I couldn't cope. I went from being woohoo to I hate everything, and it took weeks for me to calm down. I'm like, this sucks and whereas now I look back at it and gone, wow, Gemma, that was grief. I had no idea what grief was, and I just lost it.
Yeah, because you won't be able to regulate your emotions because you struggle with your emotions anyway because of your autism. So your emotions will be, everything's heightened, isn't it? When you're autistic, everything's heightened. So your grief that is already horrendous for anybody will be heightened. There's a few questions. Well, punch the narrative. I'm not pretty, but thank you, darling. That's really sweet.
Punch the narrative. Yes, Penny is pretty. She needs to accept that she is pretty.
Take compliments very well, but thank you, sweetheart. The question, what sign? I'd say it was like I think you might have missed earlier. I think it was after his flu spray. It was just over 2. It was two and a few months. When Al was being diagnosed, my hubby, Jack was 1, and I'll never forget sitting. Good night, Mara, sweetheart. Lots
of
love.
Mara.
Good night. God bless. I think when Jack was like 1 and we were going to the psychologist, when Al was being diagnosed, he had to go and see like psychologists, psychiatrists, and then we had like this little family 1 session, and Jack was there, and Jack was saying he was about 1, he was toddling about, and he was like mumbling and talking and whatever. And I said to the psychologist at the time, I said, because his dad's been diagnosed and his cousin, my nephew's got ADHD, and my uncle has got Asperger, do you think there's a good chance that Jack's going to have it? And she actually said, look, obviously he's very young, but I would categorically say that child does not have any autistic traits whatsoever. His coordination was good. His speech was really good for his age. And I felt confident that he wasn't going to have it. And then he had the flu spray, and that literally within days, I think he was about 2 and 3 months, within days, things started going backwards. His speech regressed. Like he could say S when he was 1. He can't say words with S now.
Yeah.
He can't say G words. It's green instead of green. He's got his own little language, and he'll be chatting away. I understand him, but most people have to say sorry because he's got his own little language. But definitely, the first signs for me, Mama Bear, were bumping into things, falling over, speech regression, hyperactivity, running around. Like he used to just do circling, choo-choo noises. Some of the things he does now is he walks backwards, which is a new thing that he started doing. When he gets overwhelmed, he just starts walking backwards so he can see me when we're out. so he can walk. And he's not a clingy child, though. Again, free speech would be so much better at telling you this because she's met him. She spent time with us. She's also met Al, so she knows what Al's like as well, and his sarcasm. And it's there's little things you just know that aren't right. Is there anything in particular, Mama Bear, that you've noticed that you would like to ask me and Jem? And what were the other? There was some other questions. Simply Cliff, stop it! I'm embarrassed. Where's my Sid? I love you, Sid. If you're watching. G, my daughter got damaged from the whooping cough. Oh no. See, how old was she, hon? See, Jack had. I'll tell you something now. It's sickening, Jem. I look back and I'm sick at myself. He was 6 weeks old. He had to go and have all these jabs. I'll never forget. He was a tiny baby. His legs were like, you could literally almost see through him. He was that small because he was premature.
Wow.
They were jabbing his legs when he was 6 weeks old. There was blood pouring everywhere. He had 6 injections. Then he went back at 12 weeks and he's had like something like 5 whooping coughs. I stopped all the vaccines when he got to 2 after the flu spray. He's missed. He should have had a load more that he's not had. I said no. If you look at his record, like I say, I stopped them when he was 2, so he's missed out loads, and he's had something like 24 vaccines already. Do our children really need all of these?
No.
Yeah. See, another one here. Hello, Kay Rose, sweetheart.
Janine, that's one thing they said with autism is that people with autism, when I was premature, I was 5.5 weeks early, and one of the things that I had problems with up until I was about 7 or 8 was a whooping cough. Every time that would come around, I'd get this massive cough, and it'd get to a point where my chest sounded like a rattle. It would rattle so badly. And they said it was common with people with autism would pick up a whooping cough or a general winter cough. Whereas now, like if I get a cough, my chest rattles, and like literally if I cough, it's like I can hear my chest go.
Yeah,
and it's like it's horrible.
Because Jack used to have this. He still does it occasionally, but he used to have like an anxiety cough, where if he was about to do anything that made him anxious, he would cough. And at times it sounded like he had a horrendous cough. And I knew that he didn't have a cough. I could tell the difference between somebody having a chest infection and coughing to just coughing for anxiety. And it was like it's hard to explain unless you understand what I mean, Jem. If he was about to see a friend and he was about to speak, he'd cough. And it was like a forced cough.
Yeah, I would do that, especially at school. Yeah, I used to at school. Like if I knew I had to speak to people, especially like my friends or the teacher, especially it would come things like parents' evening, I'd be like,
yeah.
I do it all the time. I still do it now. Like if I get anxious on my stream, you might hear me go,
It's
like, why do you do that?
Yeah, it's not a cough. No, it doesn't have.
It's an anxiety thing. It's just a way to self-deflect.
No, it doesn't have cerebral. Yeah, it's definitely an anxiety thing. It got to the point where he was making himself really ill with all the coughing. I said, you're actually doing damage to yourself. And that's why we started talking about different ways of coping. And that's when I think the humming started, and he needs to have his brain stimulated at all times. Yeah. So he's got to have. He can't go to sleep. When you put your child to bed and you turn the light off and you send the night, he can't do that. He has to fall asleep with the TV on. He has to have some sort of stimulation.
Yeah,
he actually falls asleep with it on. He can't be in a silent room.
No, I have to have music, or like sometimes I have a stream playing and I'll lay down to watch it and I'm like, okay, time to chill out, put your headphones on. All of a sudden I'm like, I'll wake up and I'm like, oh crap, I've left the stream playing. And I've done it to you before when you've been on late, and I'm like laying here, I'm like, okay, chill out. And I'm also I can feel like my head going, I'm like, okay, I'm going to fall asleep, and then bang. And I'll wake up, I'm like, what the hell happened? There's
a chance that Edwalston Athelston could be on the spectrum. He could have Asperger type autism, and that's why he's being so bloody blunt. This is why another thing why he just said there that what's he said? He said, I'm pretty socially awkward. I'm only really at ease when I'm trashed on beer, you know. And this is another reason why I've been a bit more fair with you and others. It's because you could be that blunt and that come across as rude, because you're also on. You don't know, do you, Gem?
No, you don't. You never know, because people mask their traits. So I did for a long time. I masked a lot of my social awkwardness, my anxiety issues, and people are like, oh, Gemma, you know, Gemma, she's a bit slow, she's a bit different, but she'll grow out of it. And I'm like, well, no. And then now they're like, oh, we get now why Gemma's blunt. We get now why she's direct. We get why Gemma's a bit fussy. And now I'm like, I'm just me. Like, you know, it's just my autism. And unfortunately, people don't get that, because girls like me are able to mask. And I found out something yesterday that shocked me. I was on a phone call with some professionals from my area, and they were saying in the last 3 years, they found that it's only officially, from what they told me, 450 women diagnosed and over 1,200 boys. I'm like, how the hell is that working? I'm like, how can there be so little girls to men? I don't get that.
I think it's more. I think it's more common in males, and I also think it is more common, but it's also really difficult to spot in girls. I think girls, especially growing up, girls are totally different. Girls will mask it more. Because I tagged you, Penny. No, you're not banned, darling. No, you've got a wrench and everything. You're not tanned. Tanned. You're not banned, sweetheart. No. I can see you, hun. No one's blocking anybody. We would never time you out. I can't even time people out. The only people that can are the managing moderators, because I'm on here, so I can't do anything. But no one would time you out, hun. Of course not. No, it's YouTube. They keep on. They're hiding comments. They are derailing the stream so that people just get dropped off and get thrown out.
It's like, talking of hiding comments, I had to actually go in my YouTube studio the other day. I saw that you commented on loads of my recent videos. I'm like, why can't I see Penny's comments? What the hell? And I had to literally go and click allow to your comments earlier. I'm like, but Penny's a manager on my chat, huh?
I think I'm being shadow banned, to be honest, Gem, because they.
And then I had to go. So one of my other friends as well from the States was being leaving me comments. Like, Gemma, are you seeing me? I'm like, seeing what? And I told my YouTube student, like, today I had over 28 hidden comments. I'm like, how?
Yeah, I manually pass all my comments unless they're from moderators. I still allow, negative comments. I still pass them through all the time. Because I give people, as long as they're not abusive, I'll let people have their own free speech to a certain degree. But if there's a lot of spammers that are dropping. I don't know if you've seen these, Gem, but they're actually like scammers, and spammers are dropping links in chats. And if you click them, you can get IP fished. So to protect my channel and my people that are on here, you guys, I manually pass everything. Unless it's a moderator, you automatically will be shown, because there's too many scammers and stuff. Like, somebody added me on Facebook. Like, I've got this other Facebook account. Pretty much anyone can add me. As you know, it's very much open. It's not like the one I used to have, the family one. And somebody added me. We had like 500 mutual friends or something. Accepted it, and he sent me a message last night. Straight away, it says you're on this photo. And it was a link. Obviously, I'm not going to click it, but I knew exactly what the link was. It was an IP phishing link. How many people would have just clicked that and they would have got my IP address? I've got a VPN, but don't click any links, guys. And people, if you drop links under my chat to like videos or to websites, don't be offended if I don't allow them, because it doesn't matter who you are. Unless you're like a mod, you just don't know what these links are, and you could accidentally be sharing a dodgy link as well. And you might not be doing
Yeah.
it on purpose. You might have clicked something, and what can happen is the bot can take over your account and start spamming. That's happened on Facebook, hasn't it, Jen? When people have
Yes,
had
it
their account
has.
hacked,
Yeah.
and they've been mass messaging people with all these links. So how do you spot a IP phishing link? They're usually a load of numbers and letters. They're not like a website name, and they've usually got the word photo in, but just as a rule, don't click
Yeah.
any links.
Sometimes Mouse Nation, they can also try and make out that they're a genuine site. Like I had one last year on my Facebook YouTube page group that I had, and someone sent a link into the Facebook group, and it was like ... at Google ... something, and someone said to me, Gemma, don't click that, and I had to go in there and actually manually remove it because someone else had clicked it and their account had been taken. So I was like, so I had to shut my Facebook group down because it was being hacked. So you have to be very, very careful.
Can't see back. Sorry, Jen. Punch narrative. I can't read back more than that comment there about the playlist. But it's YouTube. YouTube are always messing with stuff. My back's killing me. You have a black. Right, okay, I'm going to come off in a minute. Have you got anything? Yeah, we've been going for like over 2.5 hours, Gem. So I'm getting really in pain now.
No worries.
Al's here. You're right. Do you want to add anything? I've got a Coke. Yeah, I'll have my Coke for now. Thank you. The drink, by the way, before people start. Have you got itchy nose? Hey.
Ethelston just said to me, we have more. Apparently, him and me have more in common. Apparently, but
hello, Gem. Al said hello, Gem.
Hey, Al.
Hello.
Hiya.
It's not. I think after the other day, it's become really, really more overwhelmed and more antisocial than he already was, haven't you? Because what's upsetting me is that he didn't know that this. I don't want to talk about the actual event, but no one mentioned any names or anything. But he didn't know about it because he was in the kitchen. So I think he's probably a bit angry at himself. I'm guessing that you weren't, but it doesn't matter because you didn't know. You had your headphones on, but you know, you sent me a message.
Thank you, DW Bull. These are No Fear headphones. I got these from Sports Direct. I didn't. My nephew got them for me last year for Christmas, and they've got padding in the ear bits so they don't hurt my ears. Because one of my sensory things is I've tried so many different headphones. They all tend to hurt my ears, whereas these ones are really comfy, so I can wear these and not hurt myself. So these are quite good.
Sorry, Al's messaged me.
No worries.
You need to come. You need to come here, and I'll explain. Sorry, he's walked off again. What? Sorry.
No worries, you're good.
Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, so it's coming back now. I love green. Green's my favourite. What's your favourite colour, Gem?
Purple.
Purple, that's the same as Al. Mine's green.
Yeah.
I bought 2 boxes of them ages ago. When did they come?
Last shop before. Last shop.
It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I ordered 1 each of them.
Well, there's only 1 box.
I'll have to go through my shopping then. But yeah, there was 1 each. So I don't know. Sorry, Gem.
No worries, you're good.
What are in there? You've got vanilla. Yeah, the 2 that you like. The 2 that you like, the macadamia and the pralines and cream. You won't like the vanilla or the chocolate cookie. Sorry. He's asking what ice creams is. I bought 2 boxes of these little mini pots and saying only 1 came. Last week, several times she wanted to literally throw a 3-year-old in the trash dumpster. Also, I've missed something here. Sorry, sweetheart. Who was that? Sorry, is that your? Who is it you're on about?
Yeah, I don't
Earbuds
know. I think I
fallout.
missed something. Yeah, punch the narrative. I can't wear earbuds. I have to wear the over-the-ear ones because the earbuds, because my ears are so small, they don't stay in. Like if I tip my head that way, that one will come out. If I tip my head this way, that one comes out. So I have to have over-the-ear ones because my ears are titchy. They don't hold any of the earphones otherwise.
Well, that's interesting. Sorry. I've still got loads to talk about Alex Belfield. I've just sort of taken a back foot for a bit, but there is still content that I've got that I need to make. There's, I did think this a while ago that he could have been part of something, but then I just put it down to, I think, with checkerboard floors and some of the one-eye symbolisms that he does and all that. But I just think he's just an idiot, to be honest.
I think
anything.
personally Alex Belfield is on the spectrum because he did a lot of videos making fun of people on the autistic spectrum. I actually critiqued one of them that he did before he got the court case scenario, and I actually uploaded it to my channel. And I said, look, you know, you don't know if he's on the spectrum himself and he's doing it to self-deflect. I said, but also it's not okay to call someone on the spectrum the R word. I said, regardless if it is how you feel about someone on the spectrum, I said, you can't use it. I said, that's really dangerous. And then him and one of these cronies responded to me and said, oh, it's personal opinion. I'm like, well, no, it's not personal opinion because you've broadcast it live calling all autistic people the R word. So that's not personal. You've made it public. So it's ridiculous. I think he has an issue with it.
Yeah, he did name his dog after Ken Dodd. Yeah, he's a member of the controlled opposition. I don't know. I'm still I've not finished on him. I've just not been. I'm not an Alex Belfield channel. I'm not a Nicola Bulley channel. People think that they come over because of a certain subject, but there's channels that are just dedicated to Nicola Bulley. You've got like that's all Eddie does now. That's all Chuff does now, as well as trashing other channels. There's some channels that just focus on one thing. There's people that just focus on Alex Belfield, like Adrian Allen and other channels that just do that. I don't just do one thing. So I have people saying, oh, why haven't you put any more Alex Belfield content out? I will do, but I'm not an Alex Belfield channel. I do all sorts of stuff. My main thing here is I rescue animals and I like to vlog about it. And then I do news and general open panels, topics. Same as Gem, cover lots of things.
Yep.
Well, Punch the Narrative, in my opinion, he is one, but that's my opinion. He's one himself. The very, very self-opinionated, came at me for no reason whatsoever. Didn't even know. I've watched him once for 5 minutes. Very, very, very me. Not a fan. And I think the content's dried up, so he's calling out somebody else. I think if you want to call somebody out, yeah, but it's constant. Punch the Narrative. It's all the time. Someone likes sound to their own voice. Yeah, I'm not a fan, to be honest. Not a fan.
Thank you, Jackie.
And I find it ironic that he sits there with his super chats and his money goes on to his drugs and he just sits there every night, like, trashing other channels, getting eye off his face. Ellie's brilliant with the family tree. Yeah, I'm not a fan of AD, but I don't go around trashing him, like it's constant. Have you noticed it's constant? Yes, Fabians, thank you. I will be doing a Fabian Society stream. I'll gather all the evidence up and I'll be doing it on Curious Bunny. If you're not sub to Curious Bunny, please sub to Curious Bunny. He's not the full ticket, lovely. I think the problem is now is a lot of these channels, right? This is just my opinion and I might be wrong. Thank you, Ellie. I really appreciate that. That what they've done, they're either new or they've come from nothing and they've been Nicola Bulley, and now the content's dried up for them, and they're struggling because they don't have anything else going on, and they want to. So what they're doing now, they're trying to create drama.
Yeah.
So they are picking fights. Thank you, Sympathy Cliff. They're picking fights with other channels. It's happening with me, as you can see, to create the drama for the views. If you get someone like me who doesn't give a shit about views, thank you, Troll
No.
Detector and Simp, then you're going to struggle because I'm not going to react. I'm not going to make streams or all that stuff. I may call it out once, which is what I've done, and then I'm done. So these people that continue streams and videos and mocking and slander, I won't react, but it is being documented because it's against the law to continually harass and hound somebody and come to people's houses. It's illegal.
Yep.
So there's that. But yeah, I think that's what's happening now. Thank you for that, Elige. I think that's what's happening. I think armchair detective, I think they're referring to. I do genuinely believe that some of these channels now just want to create the drama for views.
Of course they do.
Eddie's lovely. Eddie was already a channel, and his work on the Nicola Bulley case has been really good, and he's just been brilliant. And Rainbow Storm as well, he's another good guy. He's not bothered about the views, he just wants to get the truth out. And Gemma knows me. I've always been the same, Gem. I've never been bothered about that. All I've wanted to do is meet people, make friends.
And you've always been truthful, Penny. That's the thing I've said about you before. You know, you've always been truthful. You know where you stand with you. You know your views. You know how you're getting the truth out there. You speak truth to a lot of people who may not know the truth as such. And I've learned a lot more about like the politics side of things that you've talked about. Especially now with the whole Nicola Bulley stuff, I've learned so much I didn't think I would ever know. I'm like, damn, if I wouldn't have listened to your stream and understood what you're trying to do, I'm like, wow, I'm more with it now than I used to be. Now I'm looking at things differently. I'm reassessing things. I'm like, gosh, I was so convinced by what the media would tell me half the time. Now I'm like, hold on a minute. If Penny says this and this and this and this, then it must be. And I've gone and I looked at things. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, okay. So it's helped me to educate myself.
Well, the thing is, Gemma, it's just about everybody's views and opinions, isn't it? So we can all have our views, and I might not be right. You guys tell me a lot of stuff, and I learn from you. We all learn together. We're all a group of friends, and it's okay, Christina. Are you okay, hon? Welcome to the live stream.
Hey, Christina.
Hiya, hon. So it's like we all learn from each other, and nobody knows everything, do they? Let's just be honest. Eddie's great. What was someone said about he's been on YouTube 10 years? That's fine, okay. You're not disruptive, puncture narrative, Don. Again, it's like it just feels like, oh well, thank you, Tracy. It just feels like when someone is just constantly attacking another YouTuber, whether you like them or not, it gets to the point where is it funny? And where is it like lower himself? Like he's called out AD, which is fine. Okay, he's called somebody out. Yeah, he is. That's what. Yeah, Eddie's like me, I think. He's called somebody out. Okay, and that's fine. But then where does it stop between? If you keep on calling somebody out all the time and picking on them, and it become you become the bully.
Yeah, you become drama.
You make the person who you're calling out, who is also a bit of a dick, you make them become a victim. And it's very divisive. It's very pick a side. And like, you know, like when he came for me, the chuff guy, people said, I'm going to unsubscribe from him and I support you. Or some people said, I don't like you now, I like him. That's fine. I don't, you know, you don't have to choose sides. Hello, Shelley.
Hey,
the only person, like I say, there's one person recently who I will not tolerate anyone supporting that here, and who I won't name. But if anyone supports this person, I've just said just unsub, please. But anybody else, I don't really care. You know, if you like Chuff, if you like AD, we don't have to all get along, you know.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to like each other's channels. I know there's a lot of people who don't like me, but you know, that is what it
Thank
is.
you,
My
Jackie.
channel isn't for everyone's taste, and not everyone's going to understand why I talk about autism on my channel. It's just the way it is. If you don't like me,
It's
then
your thing, Gem. It's your
yeah.
Your channel, what you do. I think it's brilliant. You're raising awareness. There's people. Yeah, he come for me before AD punch a narrative, and I didn't retaliate. You see, so we started on me first, seeing that there was no retaliation, and then picked on somebody else. So I won't retaliate. I will not be someone's content. So what they do, I've had people doing 12-hour live streams talking about me constantly, just whatever, you know, the lies. Jane knows what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you, Jane. Yeah. The lies, Gem, some of the things. And they are trying to gaslight. They want me to retaliate.
Of course
So
they
that
do.
they
It's
can
drama.
then make, and it goes backwards and forwards. Like I've been accused of doing this. I've privated my stream on that one. I could have left it up and got over 5,000 views. But I'm not bothered about views. If I were bothered about views, I'd leave my drama stream up, wouldn't I? And I haven't. I've made it private because there's no reason for it to be there. So yeah. Yeah, you can't question. Yeah, that's the thing, Angel. Like, I'm not a fan of him, but do I agree with him being trashed constantly by another YouTuber for content? Not really. But there you go. Each to their own. That's what Jeremy Kyle did. He tapped into people's love for drama and made a living out of it. Because most are banned. That's funny. Well, that's what I'm being told, Bridget, sweetheart. But I don't even want to speak about him.
By the end of the day, Penny, you are far better than a lot of these other trash channels, drama channels that want to go out there and attack you. And we know that you're truthful. We know that what you stand for. We have our own family community here who adore you, who, you know, want to be to support you. You've got me, you've got other people who have your back. And by the end of the day, these people are trash. That's all they are. They're trash.
No, thank you, Gem. I've seen some quite hurtful things about you last night as well, but
I didn't give a crap.
You're my friend. Because you're my friend, and it's disgusting, Gem.
I don't care. If then people want to come at me, I'm going to put this out there. Guys, the ones who are picking on Penny, I dare you to come to my channel and confront me yourself. But oh no, you won't, because you're cowards.
They won't do, Gem. They might type in chat, but they'd never come up. They'd
you're all big talk, guys. You can give Penny and me the mouth, but are you brave enough to come to my channel? No, you're not. So
yeah, it's just stuff. Jane's colour. Hang on a minute, I've missed some of this. Sorry. Jeremy Cole's not dead, is he? Do you mean Jerry Springer, darling? That's
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer, RRP. Inspired me. Your videos inspired me to visit the second oldest church and graveyard. Oh wow, that's amazing. Me and Jack do a lot of the churchyards in the summer. There's still loads we haven't visited around here. There's loads of churches. We love all the old stuff, and it's also because he's home educated. It's part of his history lesson. So we'll go and we'll walk around the church and we'll look at the history, and it's teaching him history. It's teaching him all about religion as well, because it's a church and he learns about religion and all that. It's really good. He loves it. That's the one. Not Jeremy Kyle. Penny, I have got to know you. Well, thank you, Scottish Davros. You're cool. You're awesome. Right then, guys, 3 hours. So we're going to end this now. So I'm going to say a huge thank you. Hello, Tammy. I'm just ending now, sweetheart. But I want us, could we all give Gemma a massive round of applause? Because I think you've done amazing, Gem. Thank you so much. And for our lovely guests, we had Nikki came up and we had Angel come up. So I want to say a huge thank you to
I wouldn't be here without you, Penny. You know, you're the one who put this together, and you know, I wouldn't be if it wasn't for you getting to know me and trust me and believe in me. Because you know, people with autism do struggle to make friends, and you're not just my friend. I class you as family. So for me to be here is something that I'm enjoying, that I'm passionate about. I love what you stand for. I love what you do. I love your content. That's why I'm here. So you know, we're all together with each other. So.
Oh, no, thank you so much, Gem. You're amazing. That was the Rudston monolith. Guys, if you've missed it, I did do a live stream on it. So I did a little video. I did a little I did a live stream on this channel, and then I did a video on my other channel, and then I did a live stream on my other channel all about the Rudston monolith. We are going to be going back as well. So no, thank you, Gem. That's so sweet. I'm just checking some of these lovely comments supporting you. Oh shit, what have I just pressed? Oh, the dinosaur poo. Oh, that was the Jorvik Centre. No, it wasn't dinosaur poo. That was Viking poo.
And just to let everybody know, for the coronation, I will be going down to my local town centre. They're putting on a free food, and they're putting the coronation onto a big screen. So for Penny and all you guys, I will be going down to my local town and taking a walk through the coronation stalls and food stalls.
That's
I'll be
brilliant,
showing you
Gem.
everything that goes on that weekend. Someone planned to go out and take a walk and show the park and everything as well, because there'll be celebrations going on the whole weekend. So that should be interesting.
I'll be doing it as well. So me and Gemma will. I'm hoping that a few people go and film their local, what's happening, celebrations. Just showing all these comments for you, Gem. Yeah, Gemma's amazing. She's been an amazing co-host. Yeah, so I'll be doing that as well. I think there's stuff happening in my town as well, that they're doing some bakes in the church.
You guys just don't see the anxiety in my head. Like
you.
right now, like the thoughts in my head are so negative, and I'm having to try and fight. I'm like, shut up, Gemma. And
thank you, Jane.
All I get in my head is negative thoughts. It's like it's like not voices, but in my head I'm like, am I going to screw this up? Am I going to say something wrong? Am I going to say something that's embarrassing? And I have to go, no. So that's what you don't see.
Thank you, Tracy. You are amazing, Gem. Absolutely amazing. And you fight those negative. I have those negative thoughts as well. Like, I don't really talk about any of I think I've done one stream on my mental health. Hello, other side of life. Yeah, he's not my king either, but it's also once in a lifetime coronet. Well, hopefully we'll get another one. But I think because we are still a monarch country, and I think it's good for Jack to experience that. So good night, Dr. David Bull. Thank you, Desi. You're so kind. So it's good for Littland to experience that. But yeah, I totally get you, Gem. I have the negative thoughts, and that's why when people leave a compliment, I struggle because in my head, I've got what you've got. All of the negative. So when someone goes against my negative thoughts, it's no. And I'm not being rude. I just genuinely struggle with anything positive because I've got the negative. So you understand, Gem?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. So I do have mental health problems, but I just don't discuss them. But I haven't got autism. Other side of life. Hello, mate.
Hey, other side. Good to see you.
I love other side. You're in Suffolk. Sorry, I'm just reading this.
Yeah, Catherine, I am in Suffolk. Yeah.
Yeah, Gemma's in Suffolk. We need to get our communities back.
And Ellie, I need to say thank you, Ellie. You sent me a super thanks donation. It's just come up on my phone. Thank you for the £4.49 donation you sent me.
Oh, how lovely, Gemma! I don't get notifications for them ever.
Yeah, so it comes up as a little. It comes up with a little YouTube box, and it tells you who sent it.
I don't get that. I found one once in my studio from like 2 months ago.
Yeah, if you go into your studio, it should say recent notifications, and then it comes up as a little box saying who sent it and the amount.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting because I don't get notifications on my phone. Thank you, Susie. I like William, but then everyone each to their own.
puncture the narrative. If you drop me an email, my email's in my about section, or Penny can connect us and you can send me a message and I'm happy to talk to you.
Yeah, big thank you to Jane, who's been really Tyrone D, hello, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Wesley Moore, hello. Welcome. Right, we're going to get off now. So, Gemma, have you got anything you want to add to anybody?
I just want everybody to support Penny, you know, and be here for her, because let's face it, if it wasn't for her doing this stream, I wouldn't be here. And the thing is, she needs more our support than what I do. You know, she's gone through something that's horrendous, and as a community, we need to stand up and be here for her. And she means the world to me. So, guys, please support Penny. She needs it a lot more than what she says she does.
Oh, Gem, thank you, darling. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Take care, Bailey, love. Thanks for coming in, darling. Bailey's awesome. I love Bailey. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you. Good night. And I'll see you all probably. So,
Bye, everybody.
The panel will probably be tomorrow now. I love you to bits, Gem. It'll probably be tomorrow. So, we need to. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Lots of love.
Night, everybody.
Bye.